Welcome. May all your dreams come true. May you be in the fairy tale land tonight. May you think your good thoughts and everything that you want to happen and to come to the positivity that you breathe out of your mouth. May you see the outcome that you've always dreamed through positivity, through greatness. Everything you've ever aspired to be. Let that positivity sink in tonight as you go to sleep. Know that this will not be another 6 to 7 hour journey we will be taking tonight. It may only be a half an hour. It may only be 15 minutes. You may only get 5 minutes into it. I hope it relaxes you into a deep sleep so that you can go to bed tonight, get a full night's sleep, not keep panel jumping, not keep feeling empty inside like you haven't accomplished anything tonight, that you can go forward and that I brought no ill will intent into your life, that I have not sold you a bill of goods, that I have not asked you for anything, that I have not taken anything in for having you in this room, knowing that I have only given, shared knowledge, courage, greatness, and that you have done the same to me and brought me the same attitude as I have put out to you starting in this show. That positivity, that uplifting, the ability to lay the phone down, to set it down, to log off, to say, I'm free. I'm free of the internet. I'm free of whatever is binding me, the chains that are grabbing me. Why can't I get off of this platform? Why can't I turn away from this drama to ask the hard questions? To know that you're good enough, that someone loves you enough to say that this isn't the place for you. You should leave. You should go to bed. You should go hang out with your wife on the couch. You should go hang out with your grandma, your grandpa, whoever's in the house with you. You should go say hi. You should get up, just set the phone down and go say I love you to whoever's in your house. No matter what animosities, go to sleep and wake up happy. No getting mad, no getting angry. Take a few deep breaths and understand that life is it's not going to end. It doesn't end if you set the phone down. It doesn't end if you start a conversation. A positive conversation never ends. It just goes on and on and on. It's one continuous conversation. Your ability to seek the truth. What is all this about? Wake up. Oh, it's like that stay awoke, stay woke. Can you do it? Can you just wake up? Can this just stop? Can one day you don't have to worry about your house or your cars or what's in the driveway? You can just lose yourself. Lose yourself in a soothing, calm voice, a positive message. You can go to a stream that doesn't provide the yelling, the constant drama, the violence. You can turn away. If you see something bad, you can turn away from it. You can write a letter, you can make a phone call. You can choose a different way and an avenue that will make the outcome completely different. That you can totally get on board with and grab it, hold it, hug it, and make yourself truly feel full inside so that you're not empty. You don't feel mindless. That you can truly accomplish something in your day. You can do a load of laundry, you can do a load of dishes, you can learn how to do something you never learned how to do yesterday. You can cook. Even if you couldn't cook before, you can read a cookbook. You can look up something online and just do a quick little meal. You can feed yourself something good. You can have a good bite to eat. You can relax, drink, enjoy the fruits of your labor. You have worked so hard your entire life. You have nothing but time on your hands since COVID. Don't let anything stress you out. If you're getting your kid on the bus tomorrow, relax. Take a couple deep breaths. Don't yell. Don't do what you did the day before. Don't get all upset and start yelling. And you can do it. You can take them few extra deep breaths. You can calm yourself down. You don't have to yell. You don't have to yell on the stream. You don't have to um, I want to read some of the comments that I have so far. Hello, FTP, El Zorro Euro. Peen's in the house. Missed him for quite a while. Invictus Media, FTP. Dog is at my feet loving me. Your health, your family come first. This circus is merely a distraction. That it is, NJ Diver, and he knows what it is. And the fact that he says that, knows that he acknowledges that this is not how you get things done. This is not how you move forward. This is not how you fix. And just so that we're clear on that, this is merely a stepping stone to something bigger. It's bigger for him also. He was drawn here for his own reason, and he would have to tell you what that is and to really talk to you as he sees it positively. He's going to tell it to you positively. He's going to say there's things you can look up, there's things you can look at. There's a way to, if you seek something, there's a way to find it. And there's a way that you have to go about getting that. Hey, hope you're well. Came and left a like always. Like your lives. I was on your panel once. I always like to hear your point of view. And yes, you needed to hear this because there's so much more to life that we get involved every day, and nobody tells us just to turn away for a minute. There are things people say that are true and not true, and how we decipher them. But to talk to positive people, to get on a phone call and have someone open your mind to the truth that is out there, that can be discerned by good and evil. It's good and bad. Does someone pull you back to good when they talk to you, or did they pull you to the negative? Do they want you to do dirt? Do they want you to do their bidding for them? Boy, I love being around people that love me. I will put the link out right now. I've been talking for far too long by myself, but understand, I yearn for more at this point. I am woken up to the fact that this is maybe not how you get things done. There is a positive message. Let me get that link out there. Um, so that I'm not wasting your night, and you're definitely not wasting my night. All 22 of you, you're all welcome on the panel. The panel's open to everybody. It's an inclusive, feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Keep it positive, because whatever it is you're talking about, it's got to be great. Whatever's going on in your life, there has to be a bright side to this. There has to be your kids are there with you, your dog's there with you, you're doing something that you love to do. We can't keep going to the dark side. We can't keep going to the negative side. We can. I can be your therapist, all you want me to be. Okay, guest. It's too tall. And I am going to get this off the screen. Give me 1 second.
How you doing?
How you doing? Did you get a nap in?
Oh, I got my nap in and went and picked up the lady friend and brought her home to her home. She had decided to stay home tonight, and so anyway, so I wound up coming home to some beef stroganoff and some biscuits in the oven, and that's okay because that's just more stroganoff and biscuits for me. So. It could be worse, I guess. Ghost who? Is that a
Ghost
you?
32391.
Where in the hell are you at?
I am in Louisiana. Yeah.
Uh, Greetings from
You,
Kansas.
you probably better know me by Mark's brother.
Oh, Mark's brother. Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, buddy?
I got some cargo for you to look at on your trip home.
Oh yeah. Where you at?
Just aim it for Manhattan, Kansas.
Manhattan. I happen to be dropping a load in Manhattan, Kansas.
Well,
Well,
stop.
not in Manhattan, but in Kansas. Yeah.
Well, be sure to holler at me when you get in the neighborhood, and maybe there'll be some leftovers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Where's
Yeah,
Mark at? What's he doing?
I'm here.
right there.
Hey, you're quiet, bud. What happened?
Yeah, between Mark and somebody else that had an interest in the old truck, I put up a video of the old 84 that I got for sale. I don't know,
I'm
was it Mark or was it your brother that you said was interested in the old truck?
He's the one that's always in the truck, and he's usually always the one looking for fifth wheels or extra vehicles.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did,
usually.
he does
Let's
have
see
Too Tall's
what
got an
I
83.
what I have is an 83, I think 83 or 84, 3/4 ton, 4-wheel drive, new clutch, new U joints, fifth wheel and gooseneck, and tow hitch capabilities. I even throw in the sway bar.
Huh.
80,000, 80,000 original miles between two owners.
What is it? An old Scottsdale?
Exactly. Scottsdale
Ooh,
or custom or something. Yeah, it's not no air conditioning. I think it's just a 10 custom.
is that big 4 door?
No, no, it's a two-door.
Oh, it's a 2 door. Okay.
Yeah, a little shorty.
Yeah, I'd take a look at it. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
You can get my brother. You can hit my brother up and get my number. And be glad to take a look at it.
Yeah, if you look at the Too Tall, I think I'm on the live page here, but if you just look up Too Tall Rob live and over on my channel, there's an email. And just
Okay.
drop me a line, and I would say give me an email a day ahead of time.
Okay.
I'm very good at answering my messages within the day.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. 3500
Yeah,
bucks, 3500 bucks takes the truck and the hitch and everything, and I don't know if it's cash money and you're interested. I might even throw in the $500 camping trailer, no extra charge.
oh, really?
Like an 18-foot fifth wheel camping trailer that looks pretty good behind an old truck like that that could use some remodeling, but for a fifth wheel frame, $500 ain't too bad a deal, and you got some windows and walls to deal with. Oh,
Oh,
and I'll even mention it also has a instant electric hot water heater in the camper.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We go camping up in the Black Hills.
Yep. Actually, that was the last place I had that thing set up was in the Black Hills.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
We sold a little spot up there in the
Are you
Black.
on the Are you on the east side of Kansas, or are you on the west side of Kansas?
Fuck, I don't know. Manhattan, Kansas, northeast. I think it is. I think they call it northeast.
Northeast. I get on my thing, but probably kicked me off the stream. Oh,
Just an
yeah,
FYI.
I gotta run up to North Dakota. So,
Yeah.
what have you been up to, Mark?
Hanging out.
You sound depressed and lonely and stuff.
Mm,
Well,
I
why
don't.
would he? I mean, it ain't
I,
like he's got a pan of brownies or a dog.
I got a dog you can have.
Right. I still managed to keep going. I guess it's just because of the brownies and the dog.
Uh,
I couldn't believe it, Mark. I was making supper and I went to let the dog out and I had this water dripping on me from inside the house. It's like, well, fuck, I know it's raining outside.
I watched your video on your door.
Ain't that something? That
What
fucking
the
door was
flip?
just
Gushing.
hung over a year ago.
That's totally wet. It doesn't even look like it's coming from the top of the door. It looks like
It's
it's either
coming
coming
from the
from the
top.
ceiling.
It's coming from the top.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You
it's
about
fucked
should have
up.
opened that door and looked on the other side of it and seen what was going on.
Well, I mean, what's going on is a fucked up overhang that's not sealing properly, that's letting the moisture in, which probably plays with the paint that's flipping off of the ceiling up there, if you notice that. So that's definitely signs of pre-existing if the moisture's taking the paint off up on the ceiling. But
Right.
one of them piece of shit landlord stories that I'm going to try to avoid for topic of discussion tonight. But what a piece of shit landlord!
He needs a phone call tomorrow. Come fix this hole in my door now. I'm just
Oh,
gonna leave it at that.
what
now.
did I tell you about the phone call? Apparently, the lady in my video about she said what called the caseworker for my VA and was expressing how much she did not like her being in the video on YouTube. Of
Yeah.
course, I've already went over with the VA representative about my reasons for filming just to document the bullshit I hear in case I properly don't remember it correctly, my ADA and whatever, and no HBO that, my ADA requirements, sometimes it's helpful for me to remember things by recording it. So, and I was in a public space in his office where he's open to the public to pay your rent. So, wasn't like I violated anything there.
Right.
And I even made sure not to point the camera at his desk that had papers on it that might have other people's information. So go cry about it, Felicia. You
Right.
don't like my videos? I don't like a piece of shit landlord I have to promote on my channel as a piece of shit. There's other things I want to do with my channel than put up piece of shit landlord videos.
Oh, it's true. You have a lot of better content
I
than
mean,
your landlord.
I mean,
Are you
then
kidding
I
me?
could use that data for putting another video up on my dog playing ball. You know, but no, I can't even do that because I got to make a video of me mowing the yard because my piece of shit landlord won't mow the yard. Yeah. Oh, well. I expect the hammer's going to drop before long, and this landlord's going to hand me a "we quit the lease, get the fuck out" notice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, I put an extra buffalo burger and 1 onion to that package hamburger helper uh, stroganoff mix. Yeah. Oh yeah, like I say, my landlord keeps it up. Believe me, there's more content, more videos I can put up of piece of shit landlord. But I think I might just put up a separate page for that. My piece of shit landlord. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's so quiet today. What the hell?
Well, my date canceled on me tonight and left me with dinner alone. And man, I tell you what, I had quite a spread of that beef stroganoff with hamburger with buffalo burger.
Oh, yeah. Well, if I was up there and sit down and have some dinner with you. Hello.
Yep. Hello.
uh,
Yeah, I had a friend of mine had one of them fancy light up dashes with all that shit on it. And something went bad and he had to replace a bunch of bulbs and whatever in that truck. It ran like $1,200 to get all
oh,
that
yeah.
shit back up and running.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, God damn.
Shit, I can't even get my AC to run half the damn time.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your
I like
AC,
my
man?
Well, I don't know if it's the switch or the whatever coil or the fan or something, but it goes in and out intermittently, and I gotta smack the dash.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like it's on
Is
like
this a Dodge?
no, I'm in a Chevy.
Oh, that's the
See,
problem right
right
there.
now it's not blowing right now.
Okay, so hit the dash.
Oh, still didn't come on. Piece of shit. Goes on and on when it wants to.
That may be something we need to take a look at. I got a couple. Well, I don't know if it's a switch or bad wire. That may be an issue. It's not
I don't
in.
know. It's either the switch or one of the wires or something.
Play with the switch a little bit. That ain't right. How hot is it where you're at right now?
Oh
I don't
my
know. I'm
God.
in Louisiana, bro.
I hope
Right where the hurricane came in.
I hope that isn't a dead lead in your open short.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. I gotta take it apart and figure it out.
You might have a fuse. Make sure you check your fuses in your relay box.
It's weird because half the time when I stop the truck and start it back up, then it'll turn on, and then it'll just kick off when it wants to. It kick on when it wants to.
Have you
The
tried
fan
disconnecting the
motor.
battery for over 30
Yeah,
minutes?
that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of some kind of short, probably.
You might try disconnecting your battery for 30 minutes or longer. if you can disconnect it overnight, that helps sometimes to reboot some of the systems. Damn. We got a bomb alert? Yeah. I was watching Tom Zebra earlier tonight. LA's shutting down in expectation of more fucking riots after shooting another bicyclist. I was like, why don't they figure it out? If they quit shooting bicyclists, they'll quit having protesters and rioters. It's pretty simple fucking math.
What's up, Peen?
Ole. Oh, how do I get a cool badge like you, Mark?
You just change your icon. Download one of your pics that's on your camera roll and set it. Edit your profile picture in.
I'm gonna put a Casper thing on there.
Yeah, ghost. Go into. If you click.
Do you know
on,
where Ghost actually started from, Mark? Do you remember that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Do you remember what the original name was?
Was it Ghost to Kandahar?
It was.
Okay, yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I know. I got you.
I thought you forgot.
Well, I forget a lot of shit, but some shit you can't forget. I try to forget.
It's the blower motor resistor.
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of like
I gotta find the fucking resistor.
Hit where the blower motor is, the fan. So sometimes it's under the dash, or sometimes it's like on the driver's side floorboard, or sometimes it's.
Piece of shit.
Hi, Chevy, come on, give it a break.
There it goes. Woo!
All right, we got it.
It stopped again. Fuck.
No, that blower resistor motor is gone.
It does not realize it's in fucking Louisiana where it's 197% humidity.
Oh
No. If it's that humid, you need to take your truck and put it in a box of rice.
Yeah, that might work.
Shit, just go get it.
It's a little bit bigger than a box of rice, and you would have to find one of the grain bins full of rice.
I'm just saying, when it comes to drying out your electronics, putting it in a bag of rice always helps.
Yeah, no shit.
You better go hang out in the store or something, or
fuck no! I'm gonna open the windows and crash out.
I know that sucks. You don't get no AC, man.
Well, it's 76 degrees, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it'll drop. The temp, I think, will drop tonight.
I'll tell you what, it beats the fuck out of being in a fucking hotel room with a fucking air conditioner. It sounds like somebody's vibrator up against the wall.
I think I'd take that. I would take that right now. I really would.
He says, Earth observers is computerized junk.
I don't care if there's hookers and crack fiends in that bitch and cockroaches and bed bugs right now.
Oh, fuck no.
Not with the bed bugs, bro. You'll get all bit up.
Yeah, I was trying to make it to my next pick and to get down the damn road, but fuck, they closed at 3 o'clock. Fuckers.
So you got stuck there.
Oh, yeah, I got stuck there. But that's all right, because I got to be in Oklahoma tomorrow morning, sometime Friday. Wait. Thursday. I'm supposed to be in there sometime tomorrow.
So you'll probably be here Friday, Saturday. Saturday.
I got to drive this thing all the way all the way to North Dakota.
What's your deadline?
I don't have a deadline. I'm a hot shotter. I take my good sweet time.
Oh shit. Well, hopefully I can.
But see, everybody's like down my throat. When's it going to be there? When's it going to be there? Probably tomorrow.
Well, if they'd ever
What do you
get
mean?
yours.
What do you mean tomorrow? You mean not next week? No, I'm a hotshot driver, dude. We move fast.
Right.
You know, whatever.
Well, when you get up here, it'll be nice and hot. So your heat still works, correct?
No.
Okay, that's the fan resistor, the blower motor.
Yeah.
Yes, he's right. I think he's onto something there. So it is what it is there. I just keep hitting that
Could be
fucking
the switch. Could be a switch, a burnout wire. Could be.
It could be a fucked wire.
Could be because I'm driving a piece of shit Chevy.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. That's your first problem is Chevy. Jeez.
The old Chevys are better than the new Chevy. Shit.
Oh yeah, he said Chevy 350, and I was like, that's a solid motor.
The fucking the motor's fine. The motor's in a Vortec, and it's probably the best thing they could have done, but still a piece of shit.
Well, when you take that Vortec and all them electronics, and you just take that old small box 350, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm lazy. I didn't fix it. I probably should have fixed it a long time ago,
Right.
but I haven't.
Maintenance.
Well, I'm fucking working 168 hours a week, so kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Did the flight
What are
go
you guys
okay?
discussing? You're all pretty damn. The flight? Oh yeah, except for I almost damn died.
Okay, how'd you do that?
Well,
Because
I think Liberty Bird dodged a bullet with that snow hitting the mountain last night.
Oh, he got snow up there. The fire stopped.
Sounds like they got a foot of snow up there, and I know that'll help a forest fire out a lot as far as slowing shit down. Oh. Although he was a little ways out from the fire, he was still in direct path. Yeah, it's like a whopping 40 degrees in Kansas tonight.
Really?
That's what they.
On or something.
So I'm gonna have to ditch my shorts for actual warm clothes.
Yeah,
I told you bring a coat.
I don't think I need to move to South Dakota anymore. I reconsidered.
Yeah, you don't, because it's miserable already, man. It's cold, downright chilly. Can't even do t-shirt weather. I don't know why it dropped. How's it go from 90 to like 40? I don't.
Nobody moved in my house, did they?
Not yet. They was over there doing some work on it today, though.
Oh, I'll be up there Friday to give them money.
Yeah, I think they're just doing work, cleaning up, sweeping out the garage. That's all I seen. That's all the movement.
Right.
She is around, but it is
Well,
what
I
it
know
is.
she hasn't heard from me for a week, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as the fires in Colorado, that Cameron fire I've heard has been somewhat contained to a major part. So containment is a lot better than what they had the other day. As far as Bird's house, he still has a house as far as I know. I think the last I heard, the fire was about 15 miles away from him or less. Were you keeping up on any of that, Mark?
What's that?
On that fire up there at Cameron Peak, up there where Liberty Bird is, I think the last I heard was about 15 or 10 miles away that fire was.
Really? Man, that's too close for comfort.
Yeah, that's not good.
I wonder what he's doing tonight. He said he had to go up to North Dakota too. Got to grab something.
Yeah, they said something about they were I think he was under a mandatory get the fuck out orders.
Evacuation. Yep, that is get the fuck out orders.
No, they
Uh,
How's it going, Peen? You putting on a show for us tonight?
I'm Batman.
what hell's he doing? Playing a video game?
I don't know what he's doing.
I heard that like you playing Star Wars or something.
He's playing with his joystick.
He's
Peen.
smoking a video. He's smoking a fatty and playing some Star Wars or something.
Yeah.
They're coming to take me away. Ha ha.
They're coming to take me.
Take me away, EEO. To the funny farm for life. You fucking Judy, all the fucking time.
This boy's gonna be great on Halloween.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna scare the shit out of the kids.
Oh, hey,
Wait.
I was doing a live stream last year at Halloween. I had these girls come knock on the door, and I had this Gary Snowflake video up. And I hit pause, and I went and answered the door, and it was raining. I had the girls step in the door, and oh hi, Robbie, I'm live streaming. Say hi to YouTube. And while I'm out grabbing the candy, these girls look up, and here's this video, and it was not really an appropriate picture that they were looking at. It's like, oh my God. But I decided to have some fun later on. I had trick or treater come knock on the door. I was at the back door and let my dog out, so I thought I'll sneak around to the side of the house and I'll jump out and say boo with this. I had a bed sheet that was out drying on the line. So I put that sheet over myself like a little ghost, and I come out the edge of the porch and I went boo. And this poor little girl just started screaming and crying, started running for her mother down in the driveway, got to her mother and just stood there and wet herself. I felt so bad. Yep. Scared her until she peed. That's not nice, was it? Well, give me just a minute. I need to refill my cup, and there's some bullshit carrying on the TV in the front room. I'm going to go cut it off.
All right, sounds good.
Be right back.
Yep. Dave, if you're still listening, I want to get you a hotel room. I don't know what you're gonna get for $25, but that's all I get. You're gonna get like 2 hours.
No mask.
Yeah, that was just the Sacramento City Council meeting that was playing in the other room. Apparently, the protesters and the rioters and Antifa and who the fuck ever is taking over that city council meeting, expressing their redresses and whatever for the government. Yep. Hey, Mark, did you see the 6 o'clock news tonight?
No, I didn't.
I was just wondering if anything changed or is everything still fucked up and stuff.
I don't know. They're still battling way too many fires.
I mean, is there any hope that Walter Cronkite's going to come on the air and go, breaking news? Shit is no longer fucked up and stuff.
Everybody came to their senses and we're all good now. Positive.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen.
Apparently somebody cracked the recipe for Rob's secret brownies and the world will be safe now. Everybody can chill.
Take a chill pill? That would probably help.
Eat a brownie. Yeah, I think I got a hell of a recipe worked up here for that. We talked about that Ricky Monday.
Are going back into lockdown. NWO is in full effect. Over 58 million people will be killed by January.
Well, kids, you heard it here first.
It's in full effect. Go on, Peen. Don't stop. I was watching someone beat a pole into the ground with a post hole battering ram. And so I told just keep hitting it. Just hit it harder. Yeah, keep going. Oh yeah, that's it. And it was like great because the post hole, we just took out all our aggression, you know. Me and we had fun. Go ahead, Peen.
California PG&E is owned by the Rothschild family. They own every bit of that and they're burning it up. Arizona is now same thing, Rothschild family, PG&E. If people don't wake up to this shit, now it's not one guy or this guy or Trump or BLM, it's all Soros funded bullshit, trying to get us to bust against each other. And if we don't pull all together as one human race, we're fucked. We already are. They're gonna lock us down. They're gonna do it within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Nobody's going out but 1 hour a day. And that's it. It's gonna cause civil outbreak. We think we're never going back to normal. This is not negative shit. This is real. We have to save our children because now that they're going to close the schools down and they've infected every kid with COVID that was waxed on the walls in 5G. Now they're going to come to your house and want to check everybody, and that's where the great divide comes. That's where they tear your family apart and say, hey, this one's got COVID. That one's got to go. This one's got to go. We only let them do what we let them do. They only do to us. This is real shit. I've been sitting back watching it for way too fucking long. I go to court one day. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do to me. I don't give a fuck. They took the only life that really mattered to me at this time. He's 4 years old. I want him to buck back. His name is James. He was my hero. And these motherfuckers are taking kids left and right every day, multiple times a day, just in my county. They're contact tracing. If you look at one of my videos, you'll see a contract tracer standing in my fucking driveway, rousting up my landlord. Unfucking real. Stood there for 10 minutes looking at his phone, and really what he was doing was doing the check. That's an app on a phone where you can kind of hold it in front of people and check if they have COVID or a temperature. You only have COVID if they want you to have COVID. Do not go to the hospitals. Whatever. You know, you can only tell people so much. But if you want to deprive yourself of God-given oxygen, that's your choice. And if you want to die according to the Georgia Guidestones, that's also your choice. If you want to save your children, gives a fuck about yourself.
Perth, would you be willing to come up on panel and talk about the contract tracing, the tracing that's going on, the tracking?
You talking to me?
Perth Observer, because she was doing an article today on con tracing in Australia, and it's going on right now.
It's happening in America and right in Florida. And you
Off
look
of
at my video, motherfucker. These people are going to get shot, man. And especially the way they come up. He parked across the street, comes over and asks us about that guy across the street. My landlord's like, hey, back up. I don't have my mask. And he had a mask on. He's like, oh, okay. He goes, who are you? He says, well, I work for the Census Bureau. And right there and then I pulled out a phone. I started filming his ass. Fuck this shit. He stood there for 10 fucking minutes. And I kept looking at my landlord, man, don't talk to this motherfucker. You know? And he goes, well, I mail my stuff in. I'm all legal here. And man just stood there at the end of the driveway, and he wasn't actually holding it up to where he could film me, but it was in that direction. I'm sitting in my garage working on a lawnmower, you know what I'm saying? But my landlord was out here putting wood in his truck for his next job. And he's just standing there like he knew us for fucking 20 years, man.
Hey, people.
Perth, what do you know about this tracing?
Oh, mate, listen, you know, we've all got these apps in every country, right? They brought them all out. The funny thing is, before I talk about what's going on here, the funny thing is I came across some info. I think it's in the UK. They call the actual app Corona Guard. Corona Guard has a whole different meaning. Like if you put it into Google search or whatever, it just describes this like electrical shield type thing, yada yada. So I'm not talking about a bug per se, but it's just got a whole different meaning. But yeah, what they're doing here in Victoria is they're going to put these little contact tracing offices here, there, and everywhere. Now, you'd kind of think that if this was something that we're going to get rid of real soon, because, hey, it was because of this so-called bug, okay, that contact tracing apps came into play. Now, why would you want to put offices everywhere if it's supposedly going to end, if it's going to be overcome. Why? Because it's got nothing to do with any kind of a fucking bug. It's got to do with them tracking and tracing people. They want to know where everybody is, what you're doing, who you're mixing with, who you're conspiring with, all of that kind of stuff. And they're doing that in Victoria at the moment. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's obvious. This has never had anything to do with any kind of a virus. It's all to do with control, you know.
Who's they? Excuse me. Who, ma'am? Who is they? When you
The
say they,
governments, the governments.
a government all is in one, right? I mean, see who's
When
really doing
I say governments, I mean yours, mine, the UK, every government,
the
every
322
government.
Skull and Bone. You know,
Pardon?
because the 322 Skull and Bone in our government, the elite, the Rothschild, that's who's doing it. They're a Freemason, Luciferian government. In other words, they don't believe in God. All right, they believe in the guiding light of Lucifer. So our God, they even have it on the money, God we trust. Well, they know that you're only supposed to worship God. But they worship Lucifer. They choose that. And they feel that they're superior to us and that they're going to go to another place. And it's not true at all. But anyway, and they're finding that out and they know that. And that's why they're damning the whole world. It's because they know the time has come and drawing near where somebody's showing who's boss. And I don't go there because it makes people offended. But you know, there's signs in the skies, and there's actual biblical stuff that is coming true. A lot of it is false. It's what they say, you know. But the Great Divide is exactly what you were talking about. Contract tracing. They're going to come in, find out who's in your home, your kids. Do you have COVID? And if you do, they're going to split your family up. And if they can't go stay with other family members, oh, no problem. We got a hospital for them now. We built that real quick, and they poison them. Do not do the injection, the vaccination. That's you can go to 201 Agenda with Bill Gates and see that he actually says how he's going to depopulate at 15% with vaccinations and healthcare. And that's Agenda 21, or Agenda 201. You look that up, and it's called TEDx. But
You mean Event 201?
huh?
You mean Event 201?
Yeah, Agenda. It's Agenda 201. But
Yeah.
you know,
If I may interject, FTP, do you know a song by the Kinks called "The Destroyer"?
why don't you pull it up and play it, bro?
The Destroyer.
Actually,
No.
the second part of the refrain. The first part is just a single word. Paranoia, the Destroyer.
Well, Ozzy sings that shit.
Yeah, well, it's been around probably, I don't know
Um,
how old you are, but maybe before you were born.
so you're saying that it's government infected? I mean,
do
like the
you
government caused
No,
it?
it describes what your
Oh,
last soliloquy
yeah,
there.
well, yeah. See, NJ, I've already had a discussion with you, and you know, if that's the path you choose, you go that way, and you can call me
I
paranoid or
certainly
whatever you
am.
want. But what I say, I know is true, and I know one thing: you may be a little older. I doubt it. Okay, but I
Are you
look
on
at you and I
Medicare yet?
say you're a goddamn sheep because you whatever been militarized and all that bullshit and everything else. You know, I've been around that all my life, bro. But I know what it is. Okay, I can see through the bushes. When you're calling me paranoid, no, I'm calling you blind as fuck. Okay, you're a sheep, bro.
Well,
Can
how
I
about
just,
this?
can
Why
I,
don't you
can
turn
I
your,
I
excuse me,
really
P.O.,
pray for you. I
why don't you
really,
turn your reverb up as high as it'll go? That way, everything you say will be unintelligible.
okay, whatever, dude. But NJ, I ain't attacking you. I just, like I said, you're a sheep, bro, and I feel for you. You know, and
Yeah, I'm a sheep that's financially
people, can we have a
okay,
conversation
you got
without
money,
insulting
you
one
did
another?
this, you did that. You can't take all that with you, motherfucker. You
Hey,
know,
guess
you're
what?
taking that
You're
with you.
right. It's
You're
all
right.
going to
You're
my
right. Yeah.
it's all
Oh, it's
going
all
to my
going to your
prodigy.
daughter. Okay, whatever, bro. All right, and she ain't gonna take it with her either. Hell, you know, ain't no telling what's
No,
hanging
it'll
out.
go to her children.
Dude, I ain't gonna even have this conversation with you because you are one of the problems. Okay, you detour people from the truth.
Can I
Okay,
just interject
and that's
here?
what
Can
I
I
got
just
for you.
interject
Yes,
here?
get
Just
in
like
there. Get in there,
just
Perth.
like before. That's
Yeah,
what I got for
we
you,
all are
bro.
entitled. Yeah, we all are
Right
entitled to
before that.
our own opinion and what we
Yes.
believe. And at the end of the day, all we're doing is trying to find the truth. There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with people having their own opinion. Put it this way, we weren't born knowing the truth. We were all pre-programmed. We were all frigging, what's the word I'm looking for?
Sheep at one point
Controlled,
in
right?
time.
And we all kind of wake up at different times in our life as to what is going on. How you wake up is different for everybody, but I think we should be able to, as adults, get through a conversation without really insulting each other and just simply agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's true. I wish I could, but when I get called paranoid and bullshit, fuck that shit. I'm sorry, man, but it bulls my ass.
Oh,
Just
listen,
wait,
I've
because
been,
it doesn't take away from your message, Peen, of what you're trying to get out there and what you're trying to say. It does interrupt the message, and I understand that, and I understand your frustration in that because I, of course, have been trying to get out a message, right?
Yes, sir. You
We
do a
all
good
are.
job too. And don't give up, dude. I hear you talking like you wanna, you know, back out for a little while or take a break. You shouldn't, because I see your channel growing. It's pretty cool.
people,
And
we're
I
all going
need
to take flack for our opinions, you know? I mean, Jesus, I'm going to, I'm a flat earther. I don't give a flying fuck what anybody else thinks as to about me and what I choose to believe. The thing
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that I don't have you. If somebody else wants to be a ball hugger, I'm going to be a pizza lover. Hey, let's all get together, pull our ideas together, and go. Well, okay, you're saying that, I'm saying this. Find some kind of middle ground and actually find the fucking truth, rather than just have a go at each other for our opinions and what we choose to believe for whatever reason. Then we get nowhere. We get nowhere. It's just more divide and hate.
Takes away from what we're talking about. Diver, I have one question for you. Do you feel that the Skull and Bones 322 is a thing?
part of it.
You have or you have not?
Have not.
You're you have people in your house.
That's why. That's why I put you right
You're
there. At least
talking.
you
No, wait a
admitted it.
minute. You're
Yeah.
confusing two different things here. Are you talking about the U.S. Census, or are you talking about the contact tracing?
What was the question?
Who's that directed at,
Please
Diver?
repeat that.
Yeah, it's directed at you. I have no idea what that skull and crossbone is. It's something I've never heard of. I understand what you were talking about. I thought I did was at the U.S. Census, and then all of a sudden it sounded like you were talking about contact tracing, which is two separate items.
Did your
No,
someone
it's
in your
not
family
at all subjecting
Peen,
fucking
Peen,
people.
let the man answer for himself,
And that's what I'm saying.
please.
You should research.
I don't need your answering a
No, sir.
question
You
directed
should
at
research
FTP.
and you will not search because he is sheep. And that's just like what that lady was saying right there. Some people choose to. freaking
Diver, do you think that it could exist?
and that's you. Perfect
Anything
example.
can
I'm not
exist
being rude.
between
I'm just out
someone's
of pen real
ears if
quick.
they let it.
I'll say it real quick. Please don't interrupt.
Art,
Please.
you have been
I knew
talking
you were going to
solid
do
for the
that.
last
You
3 minutes, not letting anybody else speak. Okay, try to get your point across, FTP. I'm not familiar with that organization or incident or plan or whatever it is.
You just called it an organization.
Oh, I gave you a list of things that I don't know. I don't know what it is. Never heard of it before.
okay?
Your
Go
father
research.
or
Use
people in
nothing.
your
Oh
family,
my God. I'm sorry, FTP. He keeps
Oh,
putting his hand up your back and trying to talk for you.
I just want to know
okay.
how
Shut up.
deep, how far back you go, Diver, as far as how far your family lineage goes into knowing the organization that is behind all of this, the government.
According to what my grandfather paid to have done, oh, half a century ago, his ancestors, my father's and his father's ancestors, came across on the Mayflower. Myself, genetically, I have no idea. I was adopted.
Okay. Just there. Okay, I can understand that. Do you think that what he's saying is totally non-feasible?
Anything man can think of, he can eventually create in one form or another. And anything people are afraid of can become true in their minds.
Are you saying that he's paranoid, delusional,
The
mentally
former, not the
unstable?
latter, necessarily.
I'm gonna defer to Peen.
I think he's paying it. Yeah, I really don't think he's paying attention.
NJ. Listen, bro. You've been doctrine. You've been lied to all your life by grandpa and papa and them. You were adopted. Okay, good. Whatever. You made it. You're a man. Okay. But you, as old as you are, I can believe, have never heard of the 322 Skull and Bone, Freemason, Georgia Guidestone, because it's all one realm. Freemason, Rothschild, elite, globalist bankers that rule the fucking world. Heck. See how you are, bro? You're dumber than a
Yeah, well,
rock,
the
and I
funny thing
have got
about it
no time for.
is I was offered
There's
membership
nothing
in the
funny
Masons.
about it, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're letting your emotions handle yourself. Good job.
Peen, can I just say something here, mate? Nobody, well, not nobody, there's probably worse people than me, but, you know, when I go into stuff and whatever, there are times where it just aggravates the fuck out of me and it makes me angry because I don't want to see people suffer. I don't want to see people not living freely, not being able to do what they want when they want, you know, as long as they're not obviously harming others. But, yeah, I'm, like I says again, I mean, I'm sure we can have a convo. I'd like to hear what you have to say, but yeah.
When my grandfather died, I was offered a legacy
Man,
membership in the Masons. I refused. Yeah, you're muted, FTP.
You were offered a membership. You know that it exists.
Yeah, my grandfather must have been some higher officer because they had their own
There's
ceremony during a
probably
viewing. Oh, God help us. Can we
30
have him
some,
muted?
I think there's 6.
Okay, Peen, just wait.
Hey, Trump.
Give Diver a little bit here.
He has no compunction about interrupting, disrupting, and just saying whatever he feels. And when his feels get disrupted, he gets emotional. Unfortunately, it entertains, but it doesn't inform.
I bet you're a psychologist, right?
No, but my daughter has got a bachelor's in psychology and is going for her master's and is working as a counselor.
Uh-huh. You as old as you are, you should do some serious research, okay, before you open your mouth, because people that know, like this young lady that's here about flat Earth, people that know, and especially in her country where she's from, that's where the Rothschilds originate, because that's where they pretty much came to the country from here in the United States where I was born. I don't call up anywhere adopted just like you. I've been called no bullshit. Hell, I'm white, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm red right now because I've been mowing grass all day. Hell, I'm browner than a fucking beaver's ass. But uh, bro, you do no research, but you want to sit here and say, hey, well, you're paranoid, you're this, you're that, you're that. If Zach K. Hubbard was in this panel right now, he'd already left. He wouldn't even give you a time of day. But if you ever heard of gematria, if you sound like an intelligent guy to me. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm still here. I'm trying to reach out to you. Have always. I try to reach, but say, oh no, you're paranoid. You're unstable and whatever. Yeah, I probably fucking am. I've had a lot of shit. But anyway, yeah, I managed to pull through. I've raised all my kids to age, still raising them motherfuckers. But anyway,
You
you should
really do
research
excuse me,
gematria.
did you
That'll
really do
answer all this.
your research on the Rothschilds?
Yeah, very far, boy. I mean,
Well,
dude, I've
you better
heard
click on
tapes
that
in
URL that I
elevators.
just posted. They're from Europe.
I
They're
was
not
just
from
saying,
Australia. They're not from England.
yeah, NJ, I was just going to say they're not from Australia.
I thought she
As
was
far as I
from.
know, they originated overseas.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah,
They're from England.
Do
They
what?
have. Well, hey, dude, you know what? They're poor because they own everything. So, yeah. So it's they originate from England, though. But
Yeah, yeah. And I'm the one
they
that's not
came over
doing
here on their
research.
boat, took over America. No. Okay. Yeah, I slip on my history a little, but I know who they are. Can you
The
tell
thing,
me
And
what Poppy's name is,
do
what the
you
grandpa,
think?
and what the junior's name?
Do you think
Which
there
one of
is
them's married to
any?
Paris Hilton right now? Huh? Which one's married to Paris right now?
Do you
See, you're
think
a
with?
debater on
Oh
negativity, bro.
boy.
That's why I wanted that man to get the hell away from me because he's going to go nowhere with this type of subject listening to you. All right, he's gonna fucking sit there in the mud and spin tires with you. All right. If he researched and if you researched, you could sit there and really, carry on. But more than likely, you're just going to sit around and talk about grandpa and a kid that rode through your yard and all this bullshit. Come on, dude. Really? But anyway, like I said, I've left this channel many times and I won't do it again because Mark shows forth. He leaves it open, man, and that's cool. But you sit there and call somebody paranoid when they spit truth and say, no, it ain't truth. But you have no back it up and say, no, here's my proof it's not true. You just want to
I
sit there and
never
call
said it
somebody
wasn't.
paranoid or unstable or this or that.
And you love
You act
putting your own beliefs in someone
Confucius here,
else's mouth, don't you?
Well,
When,
my own
when,
beliefs, I believe
when
the
in this
actual reality,
conversation,
truth, and is what's
oh,
happening.
good God, the man just loves to talk, never loves to listen.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I see where you're at. You procrastinate and beat a bush, bro. And I don't go there. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a procrastinator. You, sir, are majorly. You want to say somebody's unstable, sir? You fucking
You're a
procrastinate
panel
like a
raider is what you
motherfucker,
are.
and you're very manipulative. And you're, yeah, just a panel raider. Look at you, bitch. You fucking stink in this motherfucker. You're so
I know,
you're so
Mark.
much.
It's just
But look,
wonderful.
Okay,
homeboy, just
okay.
do some research, okay? Yeah,
I
it
gotta
is.
I gotta
It's
address this.
amazing to show an old motherfucker like you, stupid as shit, and don't know your ass from a hole in the fucking ground, and you keep saying they, hoo, and you don't know your ass
Eh,
from a hole in the fucking
Yeah,
ground. You
FTP, there is the
old
basement, you know.
shit.
There is the basement. Just chill, Peen. Chill, because we're just working up to something
Ain't no
really big
difference in
here, but I
Florida,
don't want
bitch.
to do it. Hey,
Put your crystal ball away, and
Peen,
put your
I'm
crystal
on
You
ball
board
can't
with
away
you.
you
That's
first.
can't
why
let
I brought
anything go to let someone
Perth.
else talk. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
I brought Perth up here so that
I know,
she
brother.
could talk about the uh, contact
The,
tracing. Same with NJ Diver. He has maybe some information on contact tracing, and it's a very real thing. And I take it seriously, and I take you seriously as well. You're lumped in it. If we keep the conversation focused on contract tracing, and I understand there's many things at play here, and I think Perth was hitting on it in her video earlier. Uh, I do want to address Emo. I don't know if this is the right time for it. I'm sure it's not. He seems to have brought my name up again. I watched his video, and my reaction was he I haven't seen him that mad in quite a while. I feel I don't want to feed into it because I know
FTP, I'm glad you said that, mate, because I was waiting for you to finish there, and I was going to say, if you want my advice, don't touch it.
I
I mean,
don't want to. I don't
yeah,
want.
I
I
don't
want to let sleeping. I want to let sleeping dogs lie and just let it go. And it's a setup. No matter how I respond. Perth. Go on about contact tracing. Go on with you, Peen, and NJ, and dig in as deep as you can get to contact tracing as quick as you can.
Well, basically, if you watch that video, what it said in there was that these contact tracers that sit in these offices deal with the people that call in, right? And that these people that call in give detailed information about the people that they've had contact with. Now, if that person doesn't have, or one of those people don't have a phone, because one person called in and spouted out somebody's name, that gives then the contact tracing office the right to literally go into your community and find your ass. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, if you rung them up, okay, or if they obviously, because of the app on your phone, your app is hooked up to other people, so they can say you've had contact, yada yada, right? So your phone, firstly, has fucked over everybody else because you downloaded that app. You've fucked over everybody else that comes in contact with you.
Because everybody that they come in contact with or stand next to is getting the next
The
phone's
phones are
information.
simple.
They're talking. They're pinging off each other. They're selling
Yeah.
information between each other. But more importantly, did you cough? Did you sneeze? Who were you around? When were you around them? What time? And they're getting into the data, and they're coming to your homes and they're searching you out. So what you're saying is this is a Snitch project.
Exactly. Basically.
You're not only telling on you, you're telling on your neighbors. Now, NJ, do you believe that it's out of a positivity that they're doing this? Are they keeping people safe? Do you really believe that this is not something done for evil?
Well, let me say this. In New Jersey, since the beginning of one certain executive order, all municipal police, county sheriffs, and state police were given the information on anyone that tested positive for the coronavirus. And that was for first responders who would go to their houses if they were called to, would know ahead of time to have the proper protection. Now it's expanded to the point where if you test positive for the coronavirus, your name is given to a certain group here in the state that will come out and talk to you and talk to you to find out about people you have come in contact with. And I don't know exactly how far back they'll go, but what they're trying to do is contain the virus. They're not trying to make some evil list of every person and what they've been doing. They're trying to contain the virus. If people want to believe it is some sort of Illuminati uh, sort of evil plan to do something with, fine, you can believe what you want to believe. I don't really
Is
care.
this the
At this
Census
point,
Bureau that comes out to
if
your
you
house?
look at that URL, that's where how to apply to be a tracer and earn $18 to $24 an hour.
Ah, come on, Diver. You're killing me here with that. Only because it's about the money. It's about the job. You can do this. You can make money. Come on, Diver. This is not
You know how
something
many
that's good for
Yeah,
us.
well, how's this? Mark, how's this? You know how many unemployed people are around this country right now?
Why would you use them again after you've already stolen all of their property, all of their money? You've given them
How?
nothing. How
How
are
have we
we to
done that?
say that
How have I
the
done that?
government is in good standing with us? How can you sit there and say that from your house that they have treated you fairly, that you've paid your 30%, that you're
Well, how's this? How's this? Uh, I'm not sitting quiet over the fact that as of last month, I'm having $144.60 taken out of my Social Security because now I turned 65 and I'm on Medicare. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the premium I pay for my family hasn't gone down because I'm not only on Medicare, I'm on a different insurance company than they are now. But their bill never went down.
Can I just interject there for a second? Like with that link that you put up there, for people like if they want to apply to be one of those, there is no amount of money on this earth that would make me apply for that particular job. I am not going to go to people's homes and interfere with their privacy, and I am not going to track and trace people all over the frigging place for money. What, we're going to turn on each other for money? It was the government that took away everybody's damn job, and it's the same government now that is asking you to come back and be a snitch.
Well, do you have in your country's constitution a census every decade?
Do we have a what? Sorry?
census.
Do you
You're-
have a national census?
I knew you were going to say census, and that's why I said earlier, do you believe that the census is now going to come out to your house and check on you and go into your house and roast your family? Come on, Diver, don't laugh. It's not funny.
Yeah, you know why I laugh is because what you're saying is everyone in the United States is going to have the census come down on them. No, that's not going to happen.
Oh, just the poor people. That makes
Well,
it
how's
okay.
this?
Just
How's
the
this?
sick people. That makes it okay to keep
One-
going after the most vulnerable, NJ.
Well, let's put it to you this way.
I'm going to
If-
say the name. I'm going to say the name right
Good.
now. Edward Snowden. That
Yeah, where's he
motherfucker
at?
knew it. He fucking knew it the whole fucking time.
And where did he end up?
Give me my goddamn plane ticket to fucking Russia.
The thing is, though, NJ, it's not where he ended up. The fact is, I mean, you know, some people say that it's all a setup and that, you know, his government owned yada yada whatever. But even besides that, looking at other people that have come forward, would we know today what we know if people like that didn't come forward? We'd be totally oblivious as to what was going on behind our backs. I mean, this is how we get to small portions of truth because of people like Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, yada yada. If people don't come forward from these departments, how are we ever going to know what's, you know, who is against us, who's collecting our data, how are they spying? I mean, we're nothing but guinea pigs to these
They're
people.
fucking spying on us.
Yeah, well,
How is
how's
this
this?
not everything that Edward Snowden said that it wasn't? Why are you not fucking pissed off, Diver?
What good is raising my blood pressure going to do other than shorten my life?
Oh, for
Is there
fuck's sake, just
anything?
because your doctor said that you had high blood pressure doesn't mean shit. There's a pill for that.
Yeah, I
Are
know.
you
I'm
taking
taking
your
it.
pills? Then what are you worried about your blood pressure for?
Is
People,
there?
listen, it's okay, it's conversation, you know what I mean? It's conversation. I'm just saying that me personally, for the things that I stand for, I want freedom. I want that word that is no longer existent now, which is called privacy. I want to be left the fuck alone. I want me in charge of my body and for me to decide when I'm going to have swabs stuck up my friggin' nose all the way up to my brain or down my throat. I stand against all of that kind of shit. I want people to have their privacy. So for me to even consider going to get that kind of job, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, are there going to be people out there that are going to go for that? Of course they are. It's easy money. You're sitting there on a computer, you're looking up people's info. If a name happens to come across that you know, you're going to go, yeah, I hate that fucker anyway. Let's go to his house. Yada yada. It's a never-ending thing. If we allow it, it's a never-ending thing. Where does it stop?
This is not the greatest way to boost an app. This is not just the next big number one app and everybody's going to download it. It's going to be the number one in million. Oh, it's kind of like crime fighting now. So now it's just the greatest app on H2O. No, Perth, does this not make you just want to cry? To curl up in a ball to know that your government has schemed and it has gotten this far? Are you not saddened to the point where you know it's right back to the gas chambers? You know you're going back to A. You didn't make it to B or C. You're back to A now after working your entire life or in a steel factory or building the roads or building a bridge or you know your family has nothing. They've gave away your wealth. They've sold your metal. They've piped the oil down to the where it needed to go down in Mexico. You have nothing. They've drained everything off this world that they possibly could, all the resources that they could get out of it, and now they're just going to up and leave. All the major CEOs have already pulled out and left. You can't wring anyone's neck even if you wanted to, because you don't know where any one of them is. Tell me where one of those motherfuckers' houses is. I guarantee you can't.
It can always be found out, but to me, when you say doesn't it make me sad, dude? When I first woke up to this, okay, and it only took one thing, and I thought, hang on a minute, if they could lie about something that big, what else are they lying about? Which sent me on a search, right? But what got me the most was I was sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, they used my parents to indoctrinate me. And then I got even angrier because I realized that they had used me to indoctrinate my own children.
Which is the next thing to selling your children into slavery.
That's when I got really, really fucking angry. Then I went through the total helplessness feeling of I'm just one person on a earth that's got billions. How the fuck am I supposed to fix this? Then it got to the point where I was looking at the front lawn and I'm thinking, why the fuck am I even watering that piece of shit? It
That
does.
is a
It
big
gets
question. Why are
strange.
you watering the lawn? Does it not rain?
Why the fuck am I fixing this goddamn piece of shit car?
Exactly.
Why am I driving the piece of shit car? Why am I taking my kids to school, wasting gas and money and oil? What the? Why am
You
I?
go through that emotion. You go
Because
through that.
if you don't, the government will come kick in your door, put a gun in your head, and then tell your kids that you're going to go stay at a foster home or a group home, or even better yet, be sold off to fucking some foreign country for fucking foster care under the guise of adoption. Fuck
Perth, am
that
I
shit.
the crazy one? NJ, am I the crazy one?
But no,
Fuck
Hold on,
DSS, am I the crazy one?
wait. Go back to that question you put up on the screen for a minute, then you brought it back up. I want the answer to that question. I already know what Perth's answer is going to be. That one. Everyone tell me what the answer is for how much it would cost for you to turn in Anne Frank. How much would they have to pay you? You're next door to Anne Frank and you realize she's hiding up in the attic. How much does it cost for them to turn her in? How much is it going to cost you an hour to be a snitch to turn in Anne Frank? Specifically. Not just an example, specifically that particular person. You're her next door neighbor, you realize she's in the attic. How much is it going to cost?
Yeah, Mark, the only thing I'm going to say at this point is in answer to Perth and you is a phrase that has come in forefront a little bit lately, thanks to several different cable TV shows. It's called off the grid, and that's about the only way to seriously get privacy. And of course, you have to be self sufficient. But the other side of it is, ever since they came out with the credit card and computers, this world has become 1984. If you don't know that already, who's the sheep? And the fun part is, there's not a damn thing any one of us can do about it.
NJ,
I mean,
I
honestly,
agree with
there
what
it
you
is, but
said
I mean,
there. Okay.
we don't have that option. We're not the president. We can't just nuke the whole world and set the reset
They
button.
got you indoctrined into believing too. That's what they have you indoctrined into believing. So you go ahead and let me know what turns out for you there.
Diver, how come?
Explosion coming.
I kind of missed what you were saying. I was messing with the chat.
No, there you bootless.
I want you to know you don't have a right to get off the panel. You don't have a right to say that you know what you know and then to leave.
Yeah, well, guess what? There's another panel that I wanted to go on, but I'll repeat what I said because you said you weren't paying attention. The only way you're going to regain your quote unquote freedom, your quote unquote privacy, is to go off the grid. And oh, yeah, by the way, when you go off the grid in this country, you still got to pay property taxes. When you go off the grid in most other countries, yeah, you still got to pay property taxes. So you still have at least some way that you're going to have to maintain contact with society one way or another. And I said earlier, once they came out with the credit cards, once they came out with computers and the internet got invented, there is no privacy. Hello, Orson Welles, 1984. We're there.
So the
NJ, I agree
government
with you.
needs to go.
Sorry, FTP, go
It's
on.
kind of hard when three people talk at once.
So the government needs to go.
Orson Welles, and then he won't admit about a secret society.
And the fun part about that, there is a section of the Constitution that deals with
Deals with what?
insurrection.
What is insurrection?
It's kind of what our Declaration of Independence did to Britain.
Fuck the
Rebellion.
Declaration of Independence.
No.
Fuck the
It's
law
the
books. They
second-
all go
it's
in the
the second
garbage and they all
revolution.
fucking get burnt. You
It's the
understand what I'm
second
saying?
revolution.
This is fucking ridiculous.
It's the second coming of the Boston Tea Party, bro.
It's a
I'm with
fucking
AJ Diver on
revolution.
that. I came up here to attack him with a question that's impossible to answer, and I knew it. I'm just surprised he won't say that. But still, I
Answer
have to agree with it.
DSS's question before you leave.
Insurrection is the same as rebellion, but you do it the proper
Well,
way.
let me put it to you this way. He is not the judge that I'm standing in front of. He is not a magistrate that I'm standing in front of. He is not a police officer I don't have to say anything to because I know to keep my mouth shut.
Diver, do you believe in God? Do you believe there is a God?
No.
Do you believe there is a wrong or right?
Oh, there is a wrong or right, and we've already put it down in the tens of thousands of laws that we have in this country federally, and probably the 100,000s of local ordinances and state statutes that exist already.
So, can we call it an impasse and say it was a very, very loaded question? So I don't feel like you're leaving in bad terms with me.
It's a historic reference
to
to a time that existed in the late 1930s and early 40s. It has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on today.
It does have something to do because the law back then was if you seen a Jew that was not wearing a star, you had to turn him in. If you seen a Jew that was hiding, you had to turn them in. That was the law. Either you complied with the law or you got shot.
Is the DHS request see something, say something, a law, a statute, a code?
It might be. I don't know. I've never actually heard of that particular law, honestly.
It's their propaganda.
I've seen it. It's their I've heard
law,
that.
but it's their not their interpretation, but their suggestion. The click it or ticket. Because there's a medical exemption in click it or ticket, but it says click it or ticket.
Click it or ticket deals with a statute.
But the phrase is click it or ticket unless you have unless you have an exemption. Like with the wear a mask or you don't get a service unless you have an exemption.
What do you know that we don't know?
He knows that we're all fucked and he's already happy with it because he's got his retirement fund and he's good with wearing the mask
So
and all that other shit.
You've tricked yourself into believing that you're financially okay for 100 years and that's fine with you. And fuck what the rest of us have. Who cares that they've sold all our oil for pennies on the dollar? Who cares that they sold all of our metal for pennies on the dollar? And who cares that we don't have any cars that function properly?
Yeah, that's interesting. My car I've had since 2001 and it still works fine.
I mean, wasn't we always told in school that history repeats itself?
Especially if you don't learn.
So why wouldn't the whole situation with Anne Frank have anything to do with today if history tends to repeat itself? Who's to say they're not setting up for something like that now?
Who's to say we don't already have gas chambers? Who's to say we're not already set up for it and already have the concentration camps sitting right in front of us?
The first step of the concentration camp.
They don't need gas chambers. You've already got genetically modified seed. You've already got fluoride in the water. You've already got your chemtrails spraying you from up above. You don't need that. They're doing it in a way where they're coming at you from all sides, okay, without any kind of, chambers, this, that, and the other. They don't have to do that. They've done it already. Like I said, genetically modified food, all of that kind of shit. The crappy water that people fucking drink. People don't stop to realise that it's the reason why a majority of people are sick. They don't connect the two. They don't look at the fact of what they're eating or what they're drinking, that this is what's making them sick, right? They just assume that they kind of got sick and they go to the doctor, and does the doctor ask you, hey, you're drinking too much of your crappy tap water? You know, or are you know, are you eating too
Drinking
much
bottled water or what?
modified shit? They don't do that. They're just going to hand you a pill and go, oh, well, you're nauseous. You know, here's something for the nausea. Go home and have another friggin' drink. They don't need any gas chambers now. They don't need any of that kind of stuff. They're already doing it to people.
A driver, is she paranoid? Is
You know, and
she
as for
losing
going,
it?
as
Is
for
she
going off the
unstable?
grid,
Or
sorry, Pete, go on.
I just posted the CDC's overlook on contact tracer training.
The CDC should be abolished immediately.
So what happens if I report that nobody went anywhere for 2 straight weeks to every time I went out to somebody's house, NJ? Would they get me for perjury? Would I go to jail for fraud?
You don't do this, and you don't roll this fucking program out without letting a motherfucker know. You know what I'm saying? You don't just sit there and say, "Oh, we're doing this," and nobody even votes on the shit. That's not how it works.
Well, see, where they didn't screw people over. It's just that because people don't want to know. People just listen to the television. They listen to whatever and they go along with that. Here in Australia, they came out and they said about this tracing app, right? And then they said that they would need 40%. I think it was 40% of the people to actually download the app before they would actually start using it, right? So if below 40% didn't download, okay, it wasn't supposed to be used. Well, that went out the window, but what they don't tell people is it doesn't take everybody to download that app. If enough people download it, it's their friggin' app that hooks up and syncs up to every other bastard's friggin' mobile phone, which is why I say to people, don't take the phone with you when you go out. To me, the way that I am, if I had somebody show up at my door tomorrow and say to me, oh, listen, a member of your family, so-and-so, or a friend by the name of so-and-so said that yous were in contact, da-da-da-da-da. Now, I know that I don't leave my house with my fucking phone, for example. But if they were to show up at my door, oh my God, if that was my family or my friend that they literally spat my fucking name out, there'd be hell to pay. There would be hell to pay. Because I would never do that to somebody. How can I go and screw over somebody's fucking business, somebody's livelihood, by putting down, oh, I had contact with them, so therefore they now are going to get tested, which, hey, majority of the freaking tests are coming back positive anyway, so,
If
I mean,
this is the case,
that?
if this is the case, why can't I go down to the fucking courthouse, walk in there and say, well, you know, I have it. I came in contact with you, and I found out 14 days later that, you know, I got it. So I got to go tell the judge that I got it, and he has to quarantine mandatorily for 14 to 21 to 26 days. The point is my mom's already done this and already been in a mandatory quarantine because a mattress got delivered to her house. And just because the guy had it, she sat there in quarantine for 14 fucking days. For what? Because somebody calls you up and says, well, I had it. Okay, so I buy a mattress from you. I get fucked for $100 for the mattress. And then because you send one of your drivers to my house, I stay 14 days with me and a little one in house for another 14 days. And you never had it in the fucking first place.
Get a lawyer.
What the fuck are you talking about, NJ? Get a fucking lawyer? Bro, seriously?
Well, the indignation in your
Do
voice
you
sounds
want to
like
see
you want
something,
to get revenge
NJ?
on the guy.
Honestly, NJ, there's a goddamn bridge on every fucking port in every fucking lake.
Yeah,
I want you.
We got $5,000 for that.
I want you to go walk to the bridge, and I want you to walk to the end of it, and then I want you to take another fucking step, right?
I
Long
believe
bridge
the old joke is take a long walk off a pier.
off a fucking short bridge, okay? But But I'm just saying, make sure you get wet, okay?
There aren't
Because
any
you
short
need to.
bridges where I live.
You need to wake the fuck up. I am not even close to playing with you. This is such bullshit. And you don't see it? You're gonna keep playing it like you don't. Oh, sue him. I don't need to sue
I
him. I need
worked
him
for
to get
over
the.
40 years.
I need to get them the fuck out of office now.
I guess I'm not going to have any voice here, so.
Oh my God, you've always had a voice here, Diver. I listen to everything you say, but you expect me not to get a little bit pissed
Somebody
off.
has an open mic, and it sounds like they're either eating or twicking with something.
Yeah, there's a constant click somewhere.
Oh, now somebody's a tweaker because they got a poor phone and a shitty mic. That's fucked up, NJ. How fucking, what the fuck, yo? It's a fucking iPhone. I can't help
Did you enjoy that?
it.
Totally.
Jesus Christ, why don't you go file a lawsuit because it was clicking? Is that what you want? Diver, go file a lawsuit. Every problem you have is go fucking file a lawsuit.
It's FTC.
How many
It
times
wasn't
you been
my-
in the
it wasn't-
court? How many
wasn't-
times you done spent your fucking life being chained and shackled? How many times you been one of your family members and your family been lynched? How fucking racist are you, NJ Diver? How fucking evil could you possibly even be?
Well, let's see. My father was a police officer for 26 years. He went from patrolman to lieutenant. He attended the FBI National Academy, and I lived with him for probably 20 years.
Do you have a heart?
Yeah, but unfortunately,
is it broken? What did you
it is.
lose in your
Yeah,
life to become
it's
so?
not functioning like yours is. I have dilated cardiomyopathy.
Damn.
Better known as congestive heart failure. Thank you.
NJ, what you were saying earlier on about, people being able to get off the grid and stuff like that, even that's getting to be an impossibility for the simple fact, plus what you said, that if you own a piece of land, you're still not off the grid. But if they start, and this is me now, okay, this is not saying you, but I'm looking at the fires, the way the fires are being started, I'm looking at the floods, I'm looking at the whatever. At any given point in time, if the government wants to take property or get you off that property and get you stuck back in the city where they can literally trace and track you, and I don't mean just for COVID, okay, I mean just simply to trace and track you, they'll burn you out of your prepper place if need be. They'll drought you out. They'll do whatever they have to get you out because their whole agenda is to push people into cities where they can literally keep tabs on everybody.
Well, guess what? Guess what? There is right now a booming real estate sale in the suburbs. City people are moving out of the cities in droves. If you watch any kind of major United States broadcasting agency, whether it be CBS, NBC, or ABC, you'll find that, yeah, they're reporting about the huge sales in the suburbs of real estate.
Diver, I don't deny that, okay? I don't deny that. A lot of people want to go bush, okay? Me included. A lot of people want to do it. What I'm saying is that they know this, and if they want to get people back into the city, they're just going to burn you out. I mean, I had friends in California in the last fire that they had there, and one woman in particular, she lost a home that she'd been living in for years. Did she end up getting back into another home? I mean, there was no, as far as I know, probably about 6 months ago, she literally got out of one of those FEMA trailers that they had people housed in and rented a property. She's still waiting for her insurance money on her property to be able to even think about going to buy something. Is she going to go back to where she used to live before? She's already said no. They hope that people don't have insurance on their properties when they do it, because then they can manipulate them. Then they can say, well, okay, we've got a whole block of, let's say, apartments here and we're prepared to to house the people that had their homes burnt or whatever flooded out, yada yada. Where are you now? You're in the city where they can track, trace, and control you. Are you going to move out of there? Well, it was given to you free. Why the fuck would you want to move? You know what I mean? There's a whole, yeah, they're coming at people left, right, and centre. I think they're literally putting people, especially with all of this COVID lockdown, they've put people into positions where people can't move. People are now dependent on their governments. They are dependent on their governments. They've lost everything that they worked for, whether it be businesses, whether it be jobs, whatever. The government is not going to continue dishing out, money, like I say to people here. The government is not giving you $1,600 a fortnight for you to go buy a pair of Nikes. What it's doing, it knew that if it pushed people to a point of no return, that people would start to rebel, people would start to stand up. They will fine those people $1,600. So the government, what did they give you? They gave you nothing. They gave you money so that you can pay your fine.
Well, I saw a newscast a little earlier today about a whole group of homeless people the city of New York put in, well, not a swanky hotel, but housed in a hotel, Upper West Side, I believe, and they were hated by the locals. These are homeless people that would have otherwise been in a shelter that was segregated by gender and would have housed up to 300. And it would have been a cesspool for COVID, but they decided, let's play the safe thing. Let's spend some taxpayers' money, put them in hotel rooms. I don't know whether they had singles or doubles, but I would assume doubles. I'm sure they tested these people, and now, because of political pressure from the people that lived in the area that didn't want these drug addicts and these lowly, unwanted people in the area, they're going to put them back in shelters.
But see, that comes down to people in general, people being indoctrinated. I mean, for how many years have people been given categories to constantly argue over? Whether it's a chunk of dirt, whether it's a religion, whether it's a politic, whether it's a sport. You can take it down to the smallest of things. There's always two sides to something. Why? Because that creates divide and hate. That's a hard thing to literally get yourself out of. It's a hard thing to get yourself out of because you've been doing it most of your life. You've always been taught, you pick a side, you pick a side. And that's where that comes from.
Yeah, just like I can decide that the house across the street from me became a group home for three judiciously decided mentally incompetent people. Males, by the way. And around the corner, I got another house that was turned into another group home for 3 females. I had no say, and I found out legally I have no recourse because it's already been decided by case law in the state of New Jersey that they have this perfect right to be there, the same as I do. And yet, the agency that's running that, paying a nonprofit organization from out of state to run the homes, their rules state that none of the clients there are allowed to leave the property without proper escort. And within 4 days of them being there, they did. 2 of them got out without escorts, accosted my daughter in the street. Thankfully, she was walking a neighbor's puppy. I say puppy, it was maybe 2-3 years old. And it got excited and frightened them away. And I happened to have witnessed one of them being violent against another client. And that's what's living across the street from me.
Are you saying they're disabled?
Listen, Diver.
You weren't listening. They've been declared mentally incompetent.
Okay. Can I please just FTP address that? My brother is mentally challenged. Okay. Through an accident when he was only little. He was born normal, but through an accident, that's how it ended up. Okay. My parents took care of him most of his life until they passed away, and then he needed 24/7 care. Okay, I mean, he needed 24/7 care anyway, all of his life. And here in Australia, they at one point had big properties where they had all group homes, and they closed that and they put them out into the community. And my brother lives in one of those homes. Now, he can't get out per se because he's in a wheelchair and he needs assistance even with that, okay? But majority of those people don't know, so that the onus goes on to the people that are supposed to be taking care of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, my brother loves people. He loves people. Before, when they would take him to a shopping centre, if somebody was walking past his wheelchair, he would grab that person by the hand or by the arm, not because he wanted to be aggressive. And I'm not saying that your situation is whatever, but because he loves people, he wants to talk to people, right? And people don't get that. People look at disabled as in, oh, you know, because they don't know what to do with them. They don't understand it. They don't, you know, investigate it. They don't whatever. You know, so to me, for my brother to literally walk out and do something to somebody maliciously and with malicious intent, hell no. Hell no. If he grabbed somebody a little bit too hard, it was because he has no concept of what that is. There's no measure for him. You know what I mean? So if something did happen, I would attack the carers that are taking care of him. I would attack the group home that is actually responsible for taking care of them. I mean, a lot of these people are living in homes that are just so fucking let go. They're so dirty. They're medically restrained to the maximum. I've seen that all of my life. I watched my parents go through it with my bro. After they passed away, I became his admin guardian. You know what I mean? They do have a right to be in the community, but it's sad that the people that take them on board don't give a damn.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you in the fact that the two individuals got loose without supervision is the fault of the agency that's handling it. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done with these people because the state, how should I put it, the state housing for these people doesn't exist anymore. There were three major ones, one in North Jersey, one not too far from where I'm living, and one down in South Jersey. All three have been closed decades. And the other thing is, I had an incident with that one individual myself, even before I saw what he's capable of doing to his fellow clients. And it wasn't exactly frightening because back then I could handle myself before my CHF became prominent. And basically he was frightened of his head attendant, I guess. And while I was trying to talk to her about the open house that they was supposedly holding and decided not to go through with, but didn't tell any of us in the neighborhood until we asked, he snuck up behind me and started yelling at her. He was actually breathing down my neck.
Yeah, see, with the homes here, like, for example, before my bro was allowed to go to a home, okay, what they do is, when I say a home, I'm talking about the situation now where the homes are scattered throughout the communities, okay? Before he can go to one, because of the drama that used to go on in these big-ass properties where they had lots of units and all the disabled were just put there, no matter what disability level they had, okay? For him to be actually able to go and live in a certain home, what they do is they introduce them slowly. They will take them maybe once or twice a week just for a coffee so that he can talk to the other clients that are there. They can talk to him. They monitor, they see if they're getting on, because they have personality conflicts too. You know what I mean? And then from there, it goes to they go for lunch a couple of times a week. So the period of being with each other is longer. And then it gets to the point where, like, for example, my bro would have to spend a night there. So that then he's like, there's more time involved. And if they can see that those 4 or 5 people in that house actually get along, then they say, okay, he can come in. But even if there is like 1 or 2 that he possibly wouldn't get on with, that would be it. They would say, no, he can't come into this home. We need to look for another home, right? And that's how they do it. Well, in the private sector, that's how they do it here. Because the government literally put it all out into the private sector. The government doesn't want responsibility anymore over the misuses of, and the abuse of disabled people. And I, for one, know, because I tried to take to court for what they did to my brother. Sadly, I didn't get anywhere because no lawyer in friggin' Perth here would take my case on. They said that I had no case, even though they fried the shit out of my brother's feet, both of his feet to the point where his skin was black. His whole palm on one hand, the skin was gone from burn. Do you think I ever found out to this day as to how that happened? They were coming up with stupid excuses like, oh, he stood on a toaster. And I said, are you telling me he can't keep his balance when he walks, but he managed somehow to get 2 feet and a hand on a fucking toaster machine? I said, is that what you're telling? So, yeah, it's I mean, they do. My bro has he should have less rights than anybody else as far as community and stuff goes. But it all comes back to the government. It all comes back to the people, whether they be government homes, whether they be private homes. It comes back to those people because the client, the actual disabled person, relies on them. Relies on
They get a check
them to do the right. Sorry?
Whether it's a private home or not, normally Medicaid, Medicare, or some sort of government agency helps pay for disability or disabled people and a place for them to stay, especially if they're that seriously disabled where they need 24-hour medical help. The government normally chips in somewhere along the way. So therefore, whether it's a private company or not, it still doesn't matter. They get paid to take care of the people, and they choose not to. They're lazy.
That's right. And they get paid a lot of damn money. I know. I've been dealing with this for years. They get paid a lot of money from the government. Depending on the client's needs, it can be anywhere up to 150 to 180,000 a year. That's Australian dollars. I don't know what that would work out to you guys things, but that's Australian dollars. And not only that, they not so long ago.
You're about on point. I mean, 75,000 a year, so.
Not so long ago, they had a royal commission supposedly here in Australia over all these people, and it wasn't just the disabled, but it was the elderly as well, over them being medically restrained, meaning they're given by these same people that supposedly have to care for them, or not have to, but the same people that the clients depend on. They take them to the doctors that many times. They have them on that much medication that, you don't even, it gets to a point where you don't even know whether they're acting that way because of the meds that they're on. Do you know what I mean? So,
no,
sorry.
They're acting that way because of the meds that they're on. They'll be on some uppers and some downers. They'll have up moments, they'll have moments where they can't get out of bed. Literally, they'll be too far asleep to get out of bed.
Well, that's how majority of them are. That's how majority of them are. They're either sitting in their chairs or in their beds, and you can tell by their eyes. All you got to do is look at their eyes, and you can see that they're over-medicated. But has anybody done anything concrete about it? Hell the fuck no. You can complain until you turn blue in the face. Does anybody listen? No. They'll turn around and say, if you don't like our service, take them home.
Is this not what Diver's saying is sue somebody? If it doesn't go your way, just sue somebody. But even when you try that avenue, you get shot down, no help, and you don't know how to file the lawsuit yourself, so you fail inevitably. Wow, what else is left but a rock, a brick, and a lighter?
Oh, writing?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're good. I got it. Fuck the books. Fuck the laws. Forget what people are saying how to do shit because it's not how you do shit. You don't treat people like that. And if you're going to treat people like that, then what do you deserve? Are you doing God's work? Are you doing the right thing? Let's not even talk about God. Let's talk about right and wrong. Are you doing what's right for the people? Are you taking care of that person? We need to go back to the old way of thinking. If you're not going to take care of people, maybe you do deserve to be taken out into the middle of the street and stoned.
Well, let me see. I spent 2 years active duty
The,
and then another 4 years in National Guard. And during those 4 years in the Air National Guard, I started as a volunteer firefighter, did that for 12 years. I also, in that 12 years, was an EMT for 8 years on the local first aid squad. And oh, yeah, all during that, except of course the 2 years in the active duty, I worked for the same company for over 40 years. I think I paid my dues for retirement.
yes, and you
You're
deserve
missing
that.
the point, man. You totally.
You are missing the point, but he deserves to be able to retire and for your community. You understand right now as it sits, your pension is at risk. Your paycheck from the government is at risk. Your check that you get in the mail is at risk. Do you understand that right now?
But it
Because
don't come in the
everything's
mail.
on the
If
chopping
this way
block.
tells you you're wrong and that it's all not coming in the mail, it's all fucking direct deposit. You ain't got to worry about it because the power will never go off. We'll never have World War III. And it'll never come to an end.
The money is done. Silver skyrocketed, gold skyrocketed. You can't touch it. You can't get a hold of it. And why do you think that is? You don't have enough of it. I know you don't. You did not expand your portfolio. You did not invest where you needed to invest. You didn't take out or put in what you needed. And what you think you need may not even be silver. It may be food. It may be a grain of fucking rice after this,
Well,
the
I
end of
guess I'll
this.
just have to become a prepper then, eh?
What the fuck are you talking about? My shit stays stacked up against the wall, and I guarantee you, David Borns is sitting there stacked up against the wall too. I got.
That takes the easy way out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, the band I used to hang out with when I was in the active duty service in San Antonio had a song, Up Against the Wall, Redneck.
You bring up the kinks again, I'm gonna.
We see the
Yeah,
government.
I
They
think
don't
we
take the
I think we
press.
just invented another oh God, he's been gone so long I can't remember his name. He hid his voice in his face for a couple of years before he came out during the that march in Texas for the Second Amendment. Black Label. Yeah, we got a new Black Label now.
Who the fuck is Black Label?
You don't remember Black Label?
He hasn't been around long enough. No.
Yes, I have. The dude with the charger. Yes, I know who the fuck he is.
No,
Don't
it
treat
wasn't
me
a
like I'm
Charger, it was a
stupid.
Challenger, but yeah, white
Who
Challenger.
gives a flying fuck? It was the same shit. It's what I said it was.
The same.
It's the same vehicle. It's the same vehicle.
It's
It
not.
doesn't.
Dodge, that's all that matters.
Do,
Hell no, that's the same vehicle. One's got a
listen to
bigger
me.
motor.
If it was an old school Camaro, I'd know. If it was an old school Trans Am, the fact that all the cars
Hey,
look exactly alike
you
and
got
came off
no
the
right
same
to talk
assembly
about
line and
Camaros.
probably
I
have the
heard you
same
talking shit about
5.6 liter
Chevrolet.
fucking motor in it or a GM motor, what is it? A Dodge versus a Challenger?
Stroker
It's still
versus
a Dodge,
Cummings.
right? Dodge
Stroker
Charger,
Cummings,
Dodge
dog.
Challenger. It's the same fucking thing.
What?
Cuda, Hemi, I don't give a fuck what's in it. I don't care how fast it goes. I don't care if it's a V6. I don't give. It doesn't make 700 horsepower doesn't make a difference
I'll
over
outrun your
what
ass
kind
with
of car it is.
35
It's the
horsepower.
fact that they all look stupid. They all drive slow as crap. I don't care if it's the Hellcat version. You're too caught up on materialistic crap And what you need to be focused on is not worrying about what I know about or don't know about. Yes, I've seen
That's funny
Black
because
Label.
I've been driving the same car since 2001. And before that, I had another Jeep Cherokee for 16 years.
Okay, listen to me. Do you not realize that
He just said he's
he
never had a
is
car blow up on the side of the road and leave him stranded before.
Oh, I've had vehicles fail
how
on me,
many
but they
good
were all
things do
company
you have
vehicles.
to say? How many good things do you have to say about Black Label?
All I'm saying is we have a version of him here tonight because he's disguising his voice every time he wants to put a point across.
I'm not disguising.
Black Label never. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about because every time I seen Black Label, he sound totally normal.
Yeah, because you weren't around here in this genre long enough.
Oh
When
my
he
god,
first
I'm
started,
telling you,
you
I
won't listen to
seen him.
history. You won't listen to me. Fine. Good night.
What the fuck, Diver? We all listen to you, but you're not gonna sell me on that. I don't know who Black Label is. He's not even around anymore, right? He sold his channel.
He's not
He's
using
gone.
YouTube anymore. He's on Discord occasionally. But the interesting part is you never experienced him when he hid his voice and his likeness behind a logo, behind a voice change. You don't remember those days, do you?
No, what is the problem with hiding your voice and your logo and not wanting to be seen?
I have no problem with that. I
Because
was merely comparing that fact of a voice changer with the gentleman who is now above me.
okay, but that Peen does not always do that. He
Mm-hmm.
did that tonight. He's not trying to be someone he isn't. He's shown his entire face. He's shown his garage. He's shown his house. Do you want his
Black
fucking
Label came
address and
out.
his name? Do you want his name and his address? Do you want to go meet up with him? You want to make love to him? What do you want to do?
Oh my
What the
God.
fuck do you
You
want to
really
know
do
about the
carry
guy?
it to extremes, don't you?
Well, I don't know, Hitler. What the fuck?
Black Label
Exactly.
has had some
I
issues.
make a. I'm sorry, Mr. Sixth Estate AZ. Good
Black
evening.
Label has had some issues. I agree with that. But he's going through his shit, man. It's not because it's become public or whatever this is. Doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
No, I
He
never
might be a
I never
fuck up.
said he was.
He
I
might
just
be a
made a
fuck
quick
up sometimes, but
comparison.
he's a good guy. I
He
believe
was, yeah, still is. I just made a quick comparison. He came out during that
Well, how can
Second
we
Amendment
compare
march
Peen?
in Texas. He made himself public.
How can we compare Peen, someone that has a channel but does not have views, to somebody
All right, if
that
you don't
has 100,000?
understand what it is, how I use that comparison, then fine.
Bro, if the voice changer pisses you off about it or irritates you, then tell him that it irritates you.
Why?
Maybe he'll quit using it.
Why? I think it's
I don't
as
know if I
hell.
want a lollipop.
Is Ben here? That's what.
Are we talking about Ben Dover?
No, Ben. Black Label. No.
API 22 plus. It's API. Oh,
I hear a Southern girl on the scanner somewhere.
Yeah, it's wonderful how people don't know how to mute themselves for the background noise.
setting about.
My only background noise here is crickets. Got awful quiet.
Yeah, doesn't it?
There's only one
Hey,
live
Six,
face.
how you doing?
There's only one live face up here, so hi, it's me.
I'm still here. Ooh.
Listen, people, like I says, it's okay that everybody can have their own opinion.
Love you, brother.
Doesn't matter whether it's about people, whether it's about whatever. Just yeah.
That's
I
the
think
beauty of the internet.
the divide and the hate needs to stop, because that's what they encourage. That's what they want. Because if people can't come together, how are the people supposed to fight back? How can people do anything?
Perth, who is the hate? Who is the instigator? Who is the issue? Who? Okay, go ahead, Sixth Estate.
It's the government. Of everybody.
Diver, do you agree that it's the government?
Excuse me.
I see a lot of corruption in government because, oh, gee, look, government is run by what? Oh, yeah, human.
But they shouldn't profit off our, not having both lights on your license plate. That's ridiculous.
You really want to get pissed off about something? Well, it just came out.
Anything.
It just came out today on New York News that our the head cop there, Attorney General of the United States, is using his qualified immunity, just like a senator did a couple of weeks ago, for things he did on a personal basis. Because he's Attorney General, he's got qualified immunity for anything he does.
He does for now.
The thing is, people, we really, at the end of the day, we can point the finger at the government. We can blame them all we want, but who actually did this to us? We did it to ourselves. We all sat back. We all just followed the rules. We all just, if they implemented something, we just followed. We complied. We were all good little sheeple, and this is where it got us. And now all of a sudden, when we're really feeling the squeeze, now all of a sudden we're going, well, they did it to us. Yeah, they might have put it there, but really, at the end of the day, I reckon it goes back to everybody looking in the mirror, analysing oneself first, and going, hey, are the choices that I'm making, are they the right choices? We need to go back and literally look at ourselves, I think, because we're here because we did nothing to stop it along the way.
Well, this country's going to find out something come November, that's for sure.
So you're saying it's going to be a civil war, not a revolutionary war. I see where you're at, man.
You say anything about war? Come on. We'll make this about
Well, that's the thing. People who are impatient and want everything done now, that's about all they can talk about, I guess. From my experience, I've been able to work in the system to get done what I want to get done, and my groups that I work for get done, and it has been successful.
Diver, Trump already said himself that we were in civil war. What the fuck do you have to say about that, Diver?
Well, that's funny. I don't see people getting shot and right the way a real civil war happens. I do see a lot of rioting. I do see a lot of instigators going in on peaceful demonstrators and causing riots. I don't particularly care for that, but what are you going to do when you got 1,000 people and you've only got maybe 100 cops?
But solicited civil disobedience is, happening and wrong.
I think there's a song for "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way." I think that song's perfect for that situation. You got 100 people against 1,000. You want to live? Move, bitch, get out the way.
For real, who's Diver?
You know what, Diver? If everybody's like you in America,
Yeah.
I 100% guarantee that everybody's going to pick up a rock and jump it. There's no hope. I can 100% guarantee that for a fact, because there is no way that everybody's going to sit down and just let you paint them with your Bob Ross brush and let it go down the way you portray it as. There's go ahead.
There was a
It's called the
demonstration.
U.S. Constitution. That's
There
not
was a
There's no U.S. Constitution anymore. It's
Yeah,
called
well,
it's called martial law. Sixth Estate.
okay.
That's funny. No one I know of has declared that yet.
Oh my God, Diver, you're so in the dumps. I don't
You
even,
won't declare that. That's
dude.
just
Please,
stupid.
it has already happened. He's already. You don't just bring out military vehicles. Come on, dude.
Private-
You've already done it
Trump or
when
Biden?
COVID started. That was the first thing he
I just wanna
said.
know
Your
who's
civil
killer.
rights are gone.
Are we,
Diver,
are we,
can I
are we
say
screaming hell
something
Trump
to
or
you?
hell Biden?
They don't have to say the words martial law for it to be that way. I mean, what's going on in Melbourne, Victoria is beyond a joke.
Sometimes I
It
think
is
he just
way
plays
beyond a
dumb to get a
joke.
reaction.
It has surpassed every bit of
Okay,
stupidity that you could possibly think of what they are doing in Melbourne, Victoria, right? They don't got to call it. They don't have to say those words, martial law, but that's what it is. That's what it is. When you confine people to the point where people are committing suicide out of depression, out of losing stuff, out of whatever, the families that are dividing because of domestic violence now, because they've probably lost everything. I mean, what else is there? I mean, is martial law worse than what's going on there at the moment? All I'm saying is that you don't got to call it by those words for it to be exactly that.
They gave us. This is how sick it is, Perth. They gave us $1,000, and we're going on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Is what it feels like.
Imagine being in your apartment and being looking out your window and the tow man's coming for your car. You've got $1,000 in the bank, but you can't go out there and put 2 quarters in the fucking machine to stop him from towing your car because you're locked in your apartment. You try to go outside, they shoot you. You just want a breath of fresh air. They just want to fill you full of lead. That's all it is. They're going to give you lots of fresh air right to your vital organs.
The thing is that's coming out now is
Put a hole right in your
that
bed.
how many people are suffering from lack of vitamin D. I wonder why.
It's not a. I wonder why. Is they don't have to say you can't go outside. It makes no fucking sense. They don't have to scare the shit out of people, but they are. They don't have to say you have to go to school. If it's that serious of an illness, then why would you send everybody to school? You fake ass pussy motherfuckers.
Can I just please tell you something? Firstly, I don't believe in COVID.
I don't either.
I don't believe in COVID. I do believe there is a flu-like symptom, which obviously is affecting the health of the elderly more than anybody else because they're already health compromised. Okay.
All right.
I don't believe in that whatever it is that they came out with. I reckon it's just the flu. But nobody literally put a gun to anybody's head and locked anybody up. The government does this all the time. They drop a word, they drop a name of a disease, they drop an event, they drop a whatever, and what happens? The people pick it up and they run with it. When they screamed COVID, okay, when they screamed COVID and said self-isolation, did anybody literally come with a gun, point it at your head, and tell you to go into your head? Exactly. We all isolated ourselves like fucking cattle in a pen. And because of what? Because they said one word. Hence is when I say we do it to ourselves.
We do it for each other. For crying out loud.
We do it to
what Sixth Estate? We do it for each other.
We do it for each other and ourselves.
So what the fuck is this? Self-preservation, Sixth Estate?
All the countries that have masked up and been very astute
called,
about their
called a mental imprisonment.
have, like New
You
Zealand.
hear me? A mental imprisonment.
Well,
prison
FTP, I
man.
gotta go to bed. I gotta get
I'm
up
pretty
and
Within
sure,
get some
Mark,
yourself.
you know
water.
what I do for a living, right?
The government made you
All
mind
right.
control.
Have a good night.
All right.
Mark, you know what I do for a living?
A doc,
No, I'm a nurse.
nurse, the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. I
A
don't
little
make that
bit
much.
less schooling.
A little bit less money. Anyway, saying COVID is a myth or anything like that is, to me, offensive and so wrong-headed that it's astounding that someone would say that.
Dude, ever since 5G came along, that's the only thing that's been fucking us up. You can't tell me that it's anything other than the 5G that's 5 feet from our houses on every street pole in America that is giving us massive headaches. We're hurling in the toilets. Our heads feel like it's going to explode. And all we're sitting here doing is sitting on these fucking devices. And we get coffee fucking fiending and what the fuck is going on?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not 5G.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the dumbass Donald Trump, but you know, hey, who am I?
No, it's us having become dumbass Americans. Wasn't it? There was that.
I'm not fucking dumb.
There was no. There was a great stupid movie where like the dumbest guy in America got elected president.
Another song.
It was like 10 years ago. Hilarious movie. Oh, but I think we have that now.
I don't think it matters what chunk of dirt you go on. Anybody that's in government, it's all the same shit. They're in their shit pool. They can do what they want. None of them ever get held accountable. You go and do one thing that they have done, your ass would be in jail for the rest of your life. And yet, do any of them ever get held accountable for what they do? None of them. Because they're in one shit pool, we're in the other shit pool, you know? They protect each other.
Right. Who's got the better waiters?
They protect each other. We don't protect each other.
My people in my fucking community I seem to think just turn on ourselves. We just do it from the fucking inside out because of people like NJ Diver. Okay? Do you get that, Diver? Like, you bring some of the best conversations, but god damn it. I wish you knew. Okay, so if other people irritate you, sometimes you irritate me because I can't see what you see for the life of me.
That's why this whole thing's a dialogue.
I'm blind.
Back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear it. I'm not seeing he's doing the right thing in God's eyes, or that he's even going the right way in life in general, morally.
It's okay though. It's all right because everybody's entitled to their beliefs, and we have to come to that acknowledgement that somebody else is allowed to believe what they want. They don't have to believe what we believe, like what I believe.
I'm not trying to turn him into a Kool-Aid drinker. That's not what I'm trying to do.
But
our America's going to be lost if we don't stand up and take it back.
Not just America, every country.
Take it back from who?
The government.
Yes, exactly. Ding, 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 ding.
I don't want to erase history. You motherfuckers just need to step down and man the fuck up and realize you're not the man for the job. You fell short one too many nights. Get the fuck out of the office and stop diddling everything that moves. Get the fuck out of the brothels. Get the fuck out of the strip clubs. Get the fuck out of the Las Vegas.
What do you mean Vegas is closed?
I mean, I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the world, but I know if you got 6 mistresses, just get the fuck out of office before I fucking figure it out that your fucking ass is doing shit behind your wife's back.
Unless you're in France.
And stop downloading the shit on your phone that you're not supposed to be downloading. You know you can't do that shit. So
You
why
know what
are you
I
doing
think is ridiculous at the moment? Well, not at the moment. It started a while back. You know what I think is pathetic? Is that government officials, like literally prime ministers, okay, that they have time to get on fucking Twitter and tweet. You kind of think, considering you've got a whole country to run, your attention span would be somewhere else. You know, it's either fix the roads or fix this or fix that or what needs correcting, yada, yada. But no, they all seem to have time to get on Twitter. That to me is the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen.
Look, they're addicted. They're addicted to sex. They're addicted to magazines. They're addicted to the internet. And now
They're addicted to themselves.
they're addicted to seeing their own face and talking and being narcissistic. They're definitely addicted to many things. So I ask you, okay, so I'm addicted to being on the internet at an average of 11 hours a day. And
Really, 11?
somebody cure me of this shit because it's literally not healthy for me.
Okay, FD, I can give you a solution. Have you got a block splitter?
What is a block splitter?
Okay, a block splitter is a big version of a half axe, half hammer on the same head. We call that a block splitter. You take your laptop outside, you get your block splitter, you beat the living fuck out of it, you don't replace it, and you're cured.
We call it a splitting axe.
Oh, this could be bad. This is like the guy that took the computer out and
It's
shot
called
it.
A splitting axe.
Oh, I like that.
You're funny, but you're not that funny because I got like 10 to 15 devices in my house. I'd be outside hammering for like ever. I'd probably get a piece of glass in my eye. I could just go drop them into the falls.
Well, there you go. There's
Do you
another solution.
understand? Okay, hold on. I'd be divorced. My kids would all turn on me because they're all addicted. Do you understand? So you'd be stopping everybody's addiction, and guess who would be the one to blame? Have you ever seen the Jenners try to go out?
You're throwing your device over as well, so it's not like you're keeping your device. You'd all be in the same thing. You'd all get over it after a week or two.
Oh yeah, okay. You really?
It's called self-control.
Oh yeah, Diver. I know you didn't just fucking probably expel yourself just the other night because you got self-control, right? You don't fornicate. Answer the fucking.
I just stepped
answer the
away for
question.
quite a few minutes. If you didn't notice,
I support fornication, by the way.
FTP, can I tell you something? My sister at one point turned around and said to me that, because I was telling her about TV and mobile phones and whatever, and that they're in nothing but an addiction, right? And she goes, no. Now, she is a TV watcher, whatever. Her TV goes on, call it, whether it's the company, whatever the fuck, okay? Because she lives on her own. And I said to her, I said, yes, you are addicted. And she goes, no, I'm not. And I said, all right. I said, prove it to yourself. I said, you don't have to prove it to me. I said, prove it to yourself. I said, do not turn that on under no circumstances for at least a week. And I said, and if you can't last out a week, I says, you're as addicted as all fuck. She didn't last a day. She didn't last a day. I come back and I said, what did I tell you? Oh, yes, but you can. I haven't watched TV for nearly 8 years now. The only thing that I watch on that screen that is sitting in my lounge room is if I want to watch a DVD.
You went from one addiction to your phone. Do you understand that?
Yeah, well, no, I don't have a phone. My mobile phone, okay, my mobile phone, I only have it because of my brother in case of emergency. When he is no longer around, I'm getting rid of my mobile phone. If I can get myself onto some property, there goes my laptop.
Perth, this whole thing is everybody in their own mind is a rightly justified, and they have no flipping clue. We have no flipping clue of the depth that has been done to us, the
absolutely.
tricks that have been used against us,
Absolutely.
the indoctrination that we can never overcome in a million fucking years because everyone in our family has been indoctrinated. So to pull yourself out would be that you would have to have some sort of money to walk away from the house, get in the car, and leave everything you know, and you would still need directions. So what would you do? The first thing you do is grab your cell phone and go, I need to Google my way out of here.
Well, you know, that's sad because
Rand McNally wrote it.
I was looking at my niece's car the other day, right? We were going somewhere and she's got this little like TV screen that's in the middle, and I find this kind of shit as comical as all fuck, right? She's got this like little TV thing that's in the middle there, and it's telling her how to reverse and if she's going to fucking hit into something. And I started laughing at her and I said, don't you know how to drive? And she goes, what? I said, don't you know how to fucking drive? I said, if I turned that off, could you reverse the fucking car? And that's how lazy humanity has become. They want all those little gadgets, and all it does is make everybody more and more fucking lazy, more and more incompetent.
I was in the middle of fucking Chicago, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. I took two GPS units with me. I had them all going at once, and I fucking couldn't listen to one of them because three of them were talking. And I thought that if the one malfunctioned, I'd have the other one. The bottom line is I missed the goddamn Flying J. I knew I missed my stop, and so I had to wake the driver up in the backseat.
In 600 meters, turn right. In 600 meters, turn right. 500 meters, turn right. I want to kill that bitch.
Well, and that's when I had to say I'm lost, and now I'm in the middle of Chicago, and with a 30-foot trailer, I fucked up. And that's when I knew I got to get this bitch turned around, get back to where one of these motherfucking phones, and I knew the one that I needed. I needed the one that was on the center console. That
but
it was.
You didn't have that. What did you do, FTP? When you didn't have that in your life, how did you find your way around?
I never went anywhere. I've never been out of 2 states in my entire life. The first time in my life was at 35.
Yeah, that's still 2 states. You're talking a lot of road coverage there. How did you survive without it? You stopped somewhere and you asked, I need to get to this and this address. How do I get there? And people would give you directions. We all survived
without signals. And the Native American way of there's a rock and then 2 driveways and a stick and, you know, a cross or a phone pole. And that's when you turn right. That's how it works out here in South Dakota.
No, but do you know what I mean? People think that they can't survive without this shit. Well, fuck, you didn't have it before. How did you survive without it before? You survived without it just bloody fine. People communicated. People looked after each other. People took care of each other. People, fuck, you know, if somebody wanted something somewhere, people would come in and help. Now,
we used to go down the street and get sugar or eggs. We wouldn't fucking dare go ask for anything from our neighbor or from our mom or from our dad or from fucking anybody. We do it ourselves. What the fuck happened? We don't go get a cup of coffee. I used to be able to go out to my buddy's house and just hang out there for hours and drink coffee. He'd get the pot of coffee going and we would just drink some coffee and talk for fucking hours.
Do it anymore, mate, because of all the technology. You know, it's called the mobile phone. It doesn't matter where you look, just go into a shopping center. Every fucker, if they're not, even when they're walking, they are wired to that mobile phone. They're sitting down, they're staring at it. Nobody looks up anymore. Nobody converses anymore. They just don't.
Man, I can't stand still for 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to talk through masks.
Yeah, I've never put one on and I refuse to. I fucking refuse to.
Perth, you understand what we're losing here, right?
I know it's not what we're losing, it's what we've lost. And we have got a very, very minimal amount of time to get it back before it's totally gone. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Victoria, Melbourne, here, what's going on, this is just the start of what's going to happen in Australia if people don't stand up. This is just the start. This is their testing ground. This is their testing ground. And the premier of that state, he's nothing but a bull on a red flag. That man, regardless, he's even got the health department now standing up saying this has gone too far. Okay? Do you think he has stopped? Hell the fuck no. Where is the Prime Minister of this country to come in and say, dude, you've overstepped the fucking mark? No. He washed his hands of it. He's keeping out of it. He's getting ready for elections and whatever. He doesn't want people blaming him. And yet that's the same Prime Minister when half of Australia was on fire. He went to Hawaii on vacay to get a suntan. And then when he come back, he was wondering why the country was pissed off at him and why people wouldn't shake his hand. Do you know what I mean? But still, we can point the finger at them. But what do we do to stop that?
Nothing. That's what we're doing. We're doing nothing. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What are you doing to stop it? We're not doing anything. We sit here and spin our wheels and get nothing fucking done. And I expect more out of NJ Diver than to just post a link. It's not helping. The laws are not helping. The courts are not helping. I'm done. I'm sick of it. Dude, you can only hit your head against the proverbial brick wall for so long. What the fuck? Do I just have to go do it myself, create my own government? Do I have to go fence off my own shit and then say, well, I'm a one-man island and I collect and gather my food and fuck you guys and fuck everybody else and just do for myself? And just go back to the old way of living and shove everything in the garbage and say it's all garbage. It all needs to go into the trash can.
In all honesty, mate, that would be the best thing that could possibly happen to people, is if all the technology was removed and they literally went back to square one. I'm talking right back, without the fucking washing machine, without the dryer, without the microwave, without the fridge, without everything. Do you know how freeing that actually is? It's unbelievable. I lived that way for 2 years. For 2 years without any friggin' white goods that everybody relies on and whatever. The best 2 years of my life, mate. It was so fucking freeing. It's money you don't have to spend on shit, and the way that they make it, it's made for consumerism so that people, like, nothing lasts long anymore, so you have to go buy another one and buy another one and buy another one. It's all about dollars. If people could let go of that kind of junk and the junk that they waste money on, it is so fucking freeing. It really is. But people don't want to do it. They don't want to do it.
Yeah, I understand. Once you install the cable, then you have to sell the phones. And then once you have to sell the phones, you have to sell the internet cards. And then you have to sell the internet. And you have to sell the electricity. And then you have to sell... What the fuck? This isn't a bartering system. This isn't even... It's nothing like Mexico. It is a total shithole. It's worse than Mexico. We have now made ourselves worse off than Mexico, in my opinion. We may not have dirt floors yet, but we will soon enough.
But there's nothing wrong with a dirt floor. That's what I'm saying to you, mate. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a dirt floor.
Fuck. I guess.
We're shifting back to a third world country.
Well, no. See, that's what Western society calls it. I lived in a village in Indonesia for 2 years. We slept on a concrete floor. It was we just had a mattress that we bought off a man who was selling them on his bicycle. We bought the mattress. We stuck it on a concrete floor. We washed our clothes out of bowls instead of washing machines. Okay. We didn't use dryers. We literally hung our clothes on coat hangers, which now that was a step up in the village, because when those people washed their clothes down at the river, they used to just throw them over bushes for the clothes to dry. Okay. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. When you let go of all the shit that people are so fucking hanging on to for dear life, then and only then will you realize how little you really needed it in the fucking first place. But you need to let go of it to be able to come to that realization. While you're clinging on to it, they've got you by the short and curlies.
Yeah, the only time I've ever seen where I don't need anything and I don't need to depend on anybody is when I get into jail. But the only person that told me how little I needed, I never understood it. He said, "You do understand." He said, "Take your boxers, take your socks," and he said, "This is how you do it. You go into the shower and you wash your boxers and you wash your socks in the shower. And use your bar of soap that they provide you. And then you start collecting and collect people's soap when they leave. And you collect all that you can. That way, you can always wash your clothes. And if you're thinking like that, you'll always have soap. And the dude that comes in that is not thinking like that, you'll easily be able to get soap from him. You'll be able to barter a nutty bar for a soap. And I guess the point really is here is that you don't need them to take your clothes in a bag and wash them and then give them back to you 2 days later and then chance your clothes never coming back to you. Just keep the pair that you have, wash them, hang them on the bench, dry them, and in 6 to 8 hours, by the time you wake up the next morning, your stuff is dry and it's ready to wear again. You got a clean pair of socks. It doesn't stink at all. And if you do that every night, you're good to go. You're clean, you're hygienic, you're taking care of yourself. Your cellmate doesn't have to smell you. You're awesome. And it's like, it takes a Native American, someone that's 35 years old, thought I knew it all, thought I seen it all. It takes a guy to just come by and say, no, you can do it this way. This is how you do it. Now go do it.
And FTP, in saying right what you just said now, why do you think that majority, not majority, but all Indigenous people across the world, okay, Aboriginals, Australian Aboriginals, whatever, why do you think the government hates them? Because they know how to survive without the government. They take the check. If the government's going to give them money, they're not stupid. They're going to take it. They're going to take as much as they can. But the government hates them because they know how to survive without the government. Does the rest of society? I always encourage people, if you have rallies that are living out in the country, if you have rallies that, whether you're related, your family is partially Aboriginal or Indian or whatever, Native American, whatever terminology you use, go back to your roots and learn how to fucking live. Go back to your roots and learn how to survive. It is so fucking freeing when you realize that everything that you're hanging on to is a worthless piece of junk.
It is. And in fact, it's causing you a lot of strife in your life. It's causing you...
Mate, it's not designed to be there for you. I mean, if it was, why would it break down? Which means you then have to work, again, to go buy another one to replace the one that fucked up. And that's your TV, that's your DVD player, that's your fridge, that's your...
No, that's the car that they're charging $7,000 for that's not worth the $2,000 sitting in the driveway that's going to break down on you next week and leave you stranded on the road. Possibly get you killed or your kids killed. the tie rods that don't stay together, the ball joints that don't work properly, the stuff that malfunctions on them that the companies will never back. They'll just tell you that's maintenance that needs to be done.
FDP, I had an Aboriginal woman living behind me, okay, for a while. And we used to like sit and have coffee, and she would tell me about her people and yada, yada, yada. You'd kind of think that they would teach us that here in school. But yeah, no. A lot of the stuff that she ended up telling me I had never heard of, not on media of any sort while as a kid growing up, none of it, okay? None of it, all right? So I learned a lot from her. But we were talking about, shit hitting the fan and whatever, and if people need to literally run for the hills, as they say. She said to me, she goes, why do most of my people, she goes, live out in the country? Because overnight, she says, we're gone. We literally just walk off into the bush. They don't drag their washing machine on trolleys and load up the fucking trailer and this, that, and the other. Dude, the clothes on their back, and they walk off into the bush. That's how attached to shit they are. They're not. They're not. I mean, people say, oh, but they're taking the money and they're this. Hey, if somebody's going to give it to you free, why the fuck wouldn't you take it? A lot of the times, they won't even, like the elders that are north from where I am, like as in the real Aboriginals that are still on the land, the government is trying to get them into housing, this, that, and the other, whatever. They won't even talk to them. The Aboriginal elders won't even talk to them. They bring this woman in, they literally fly her across the country to go talk to the elders, right? They talk to she talks to the
sell
elders.
them and brainwash them.
Well, no. She will tell you, these are my people. She puts her people before the government. She puts her people before any amount that the government will pay her. If the government wants to fly her across the country, she goes, hell, why the fuck should I not?
Right.
I get to catch up with family and relatives and Lord knows what. But her people are her people. She stands by them.
Around here, the natives we all know this story, and they call them Native Americans, but at the same time, that's not their original name. I don't believe. I believe that they were named. Look, everything you know about them was given a name. They were extinct in the state of South Dakota down to 186 people. Like on the Flanger tribe, there might have been a couple scattered in Rapid City or Pine Ridge. Okay, right? Wagner. So after the Americans decimated the numbers, right? After the smallpox blankets and after every war and after everything, they made a book. They made a pamphlet of how many people and why. And that the Native Americans will not go to school. They won't take our lead. They won't follow us and go to school. Therefore, they're illiterate. They don't want our help. Therefore, we punish them further. And we, I guess, alienate them. We kill them. We get them into our schools. We recruit them for the purpose of you can pay them and they're worth so much a scalp or money. That might be the wrong way around. It might have kind of been the other way, but there was a bounty on their heads at some point. But when I read this, when I actually seen literature that the American people made, produced, and put out back from a long time ago, stuff that you never see it in schools. You'll never see it. You go your whole life without seeing it. I had it, and then my mom was in a flood, and that pamphlet was lost. But I showed it to one native and I said, "Did you realize that they wrote this? That they wrote this about you, that the numbers were this low? Did you realize that this had been disseminated amongst everybody in the state of South Dakota of a guide of how to?" That kind of hate, that's like the lynchings, right? But you never get inside the minds of the plantation owners. So to get inside their minds of what they actually did in the daily runnings to those people and how they actually treated them, and the numbers of people that were killed, hung, you just don't get that insight. But this was all in a pamphlet, so it might as well be legit, like a the KKK flyers that they go around posting on people's doors, thinking that it is to this day, they're still busy saying recruiting people. And I guess I at the end of the day, how fucking cruel can you possibly be? When can it stop? How
I
do
mean,
we stop it?
that comes through the parents. It comes through the family, okay? Kids are like a sponge, all right? If you grow up in that environment, majority of the time, you're going to continue doing the same thing. You know, that's where I thank God for the parents that I had, because we didn't have a TV on in a farming community. So after dinner at night time, they would sit there and they would tell us stories of what they went through the war that they went through, things that happened to them. And they always used to say to us, you don't hate a whole nation because of a few assholes. You know what I mean? Because you can't hold a whole nation responsible for something that only a few have done. So for me growing up, we never grew up with that attitude of having to hate. You know what I mean? It wasn't until probably, I don't know, some years ago, I kind of started looking at news and this, that, and the other, and you're hearing it and whatever, and then it wasn't until I woke up that I realized that majority of what we're told is bullshit. The majority of what we're showing is a lie, just so that we hate certain people. You know what I mean? But my parents never ever taught us to hate people. You know, they says you take each individual person on their own merits. If they're a good human being, they're a good human being. If they're an asshole, they're an asshole. But that don't make the next person standing next to them an asshole. I mean, you know, it comes from the household. What kids hear, what kids see, what kids are told. You know what I mean?
So
That's where they're going to end up. That's where they're going to head.
so I definitely learned things growing up. I definitely heard words growing up. Do I think that's me? No, I don't. Not for a second. I don't think that's what defines me, but I was raised a certain way. And knowing what I know now, and knowing how my dad chose to live, knowing that he burnt everything in the house, knowing how humble and how poor a person lives, but how much they actually have. But then also knowing the mental health, illness. You choose how you want to live, but unless you have, you can make very little go very far. And you can do it for long stretches of time. I think the gluttony runs you into the ground. I think the negative runs you into the ground quicker than anything else. The violence, the partaking in the stealing, the drugs, the harming your body, the self-harm, the harming in the relationships, that leads, or the hate, that leads to a whole nother domino effect. And then the people, and like what's his name says, Diver, he's like, I don't get my blood pressure up. You're not worth it. Well, I get it. You know, you don't care about anything because you're busy worried about your health. And that is why it's so scary, is because America is just sleeping, is not going to wake up, and they don't even see it coming. There's people that are woke, but this is no small feat. This is no walk in the park like they think it is. They think if they pound the streets for 8 hours a day that this is going to be solved. The hate that has been written in books since man has started. You're saying, I mean, you can't unteach that. That's like Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid. That's like Charles Manson stuff. It's worse. Charles Manson on his worst day did not commit this many crimes against people. He didn't put all this stuff, literature, on everybody's desk and tell them to read it. He didn't say the word over and over and over and over. He didn't keep millions of slaves captive. He didn't stick 3 million in prison. So at some point, just realize that this shit is so indoctrinated.
It's the hate and the divide, FTP. But people have a choice. You can choose to either hate somebody or not. Do you know what I mean? Like when I first came on the internet, oh my God, everywhere I went, there was the bashing of the Catholics. Now, I grew up in a Catholic family, okay? I grew up in a Catholic family. Did I stay Catholic as in what most people would regard as a Catholic? No, I went spiritual. I saw that things went right, whatever, okay? As for my parents, to begin with, they went to church until they saw the priest started talking about the government. That was it for them as far as church went. My mother said she could talk to God anywhere she was, okay? But when I came onto the internet, the bashing, and if you went into a room and you so much as said that you were Catholic, it was like, oh my God. And I'm saying to people, like, the Pope fucking doesn't talk to me. What the fuck are you on about? Like the hatred, just because you're put in a category. That's all it is, you know? To me, I don't care. I don't care if you're Buddhist, Muslim, Protestant, Seventh-day Adventist, Christian, Catholic, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, I don't care. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're an asshole, you're a fucking asshole. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. But I couldn't understand. I really couldn't grasp the friggin' the hatred around that. It's like the Pope speaks for me. It's like when the Pope speaks, it's like I follow. You know what I mean? And I used to go into websites where they would have chat rooms and stuff like that, just because I wanted to talk to people, or somebody would put me on it and say, oh, it's a great community, come in there. I got booted out of those chat rooms, literally banned for life. I asked questions, okay? I wanted to understand. I asked questions. I got booted. If you don't accept the doctrine that's in there, you know, too bad, we're going to fucking hate on you. People have a choice whether they want to hate or not.
I don't see how people can be quite this evil. I don't. The look. It's and I'm sorry, when you get the hate within the Catholics, the amount that it's in every fucking church, I just can't believe it. When it finally comes out and when it finally breaks, it devastates the entire world. These fuckers have perverted the entire world. Are we nothing more than animals? Is that what I am to believe is that you don't have the mind to control yourself. You seriously cannot control how you're feeling and acting, and you have to preach and then do things on the side. I mean, is this part of what they teach you of how to become a priest?
Mate, that can happen anywhere and everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not just in one religion. It can happen anywhere and everywhere. Whether you're talking governments, whether you're talking religions, whatever it is that you're talking about, you always have the so-called good ones and the shitty ones. That's a given, okay? That's a given. Where there is good, there is evil. Doesn't matter how you put it. There's always the good and the bad, right? The yin and the yang, the sha and the chi, the yada yada. But at the end of the day, it comes back to what each individual person chooses how they want to live. You know what I mean?
That we're doing wrong, because obviously we're reading something, we're watching TV, we're playing video games or shooting games. What are we doing that is making us so aggressive? What are we doing that is making us so violent? And what are we doing?
Do it. You're choosing to do it. Instead of looking at oneself, instead of the TV, instead of the radio, instead of the whatever, instead of looking at oneself going, do I want to be a hateful person? Am I going to hate, let's say, Allah or Ahmed or whatever you want to call him next door because he eats different food from me? Do I want to hate him because he dresses different to me? Do I want to hate him because he has different belief systems to me? At the end of the day, it's my choice whether I want to hate him for those things or whether I want to look at him as another human being who grew up on a different chunk of dirt. Because just as you were born on that chunk of dirt, I was born not here in Australia, but on my chunk of dirt. Somebody else was born somewhere else. You know, we could have easily been born, you know, I don't know, fucking Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, whatever, but we weren't. We were born here. They were born there. Do we hate them for that? It's an individual choice. Do we listen to what we get told, you know, like when 9/11 happened, for example, and weapons of mass destruction, everybody was jumping up and down, go get them fucking ragheads. Where are the weapons of mass destruction? We get led by the nose. We get led by the nose every fucking time. Instead of looking at ourselves as an individual, as a human being, to say, I have a choice. I have a choice whether to like that person or not. And you might, Six, hate FTP's genes. It's all right, I'm looking at the comments. But hey, if he's comfortable in those, it's none of your business.
Do you want to see my fucking jeans? Here you.
Oh God, I hope you're wearing something, FTP. Please, I've covered my eyes.
No, don't. You're gonna love this shit. Hold on.
I am. Are you sure?
Bruh. Okay, I'm flipping it right now. Back camera. Okay, are you ready? I'm showing you guys some leg.
I love those jeans.
You like that big hole? It's very holy.
Absolutely. No, that's very, very modern. Some people
They're
go
all
out
fucked up at the end. Look, dude.
$200-$300 for a pair like that.
They're all ripped up and shit.
I love them.
Look at my hole in my sock. You like that?
I like that too.
That one's actually well, it doesn't look white either.
That's circulation, FTP. Air circulation, dude.
All right, enough. That's what I sport. I don't do the fancy clothes, cars. I do love cars. I love working on them. I don't.
FTP, I do too. Say exactly with me. I am not one of those women that will go out and be able to justify to myself, not to anybody else, but to myself, why the fuck I need to pay $300 for a dress when I can find one that is going to look just as good on me for $10. Is anybody going to check the label behind my neck to see what brand it is? No, they're not.
Your clothes.
You know what?
Nobody
It's not
look.
showing my ass. You know, I've got my ass covered, got my titties covered, got my whatever's covered. And if it's comfortable to me, I'm going to fucking wear it.
If it covers me and doesn't show my skin, I'm gonna wear it.
That too.
And it's not too tight. I like a shirt that covers my ass when I bend down, and so my ass isn't flapping in the breeze.
No, you don't want to get exposed or picked up for crack, right? So yeah, a long shirt's always good, dude. I'm
Well,
with the
when
long
the cops tackle you, you need a good shirt that doesn't ride up on you when you're running. So I don't like to sag my pants down to my ankles either. I do wear baggy clothes though, a little bit.
and I do too. But I can also, if it's at night time, all right, I won't do it during the day. I haven't found the balls yet. Wait until I get a little bit older, and then I probably will do it just to spite. Well, not for spite, just to prove a point, I guess. But I have gone with my PJ bottoms, okay, to the petrol station to fill up my car with petrol. And my sister, when I tell her that, she pisses herself laughing at me. She goes, "How can you?" And I said, "Well, my ass is not exposed. Nothing else is exposed. Why can't I go there in whatever the fuck I want? I didn't run away with the fucking petrol. I didn't steal anything. You know, like, why can't I wear what I want? You know?"
Did you see M Star's shit? I was picked up for and Matt, hold on. Matt, I want him up on the panel right now because he just seems to be going on a tirade on me. And I think Matt the man needs to come up here right now because he's been going on in the chat like he really has something good to say. And I feel like I don't want
Matt,
to include him.
put it this way, to me, police are, I personally, okay, I don't think that the police are any different, okay, to your good plumber, bad plumber. They just wear a different uniform. If we want to fight what's going on, they're no different. Like, some people will turn around and say, "Well, I'm just doing my job, mate," you know, because he's got a family to feed, or "I'm just this because, you know, it's an income." You've got many of those people. They're not bad fucking people. They're just doing what they do to get by. You know, in any profession, you're going to find assholes. You're going to find them in as sparkies, which is electricians. You're going to find them in the building industry. They're going to fuck you over when they're building your house, yada, yada. Do you get to hate all of them? Of course not. This, again, is my opinion only. I think if we need to change stuff, then the police is, like I've said before, it's just one arm of the octopus. If you got rid of the police, would you like what's coming next? Which means then you have to fight against that arm. Octopus still has many, many more arms to go. So you're going around in circles fighting all of these different things when all you have to do is cut the head off. They're doing what they've been allowed to do. They're doing what they're told to do. By removing them, who says that you're not going to end up with something that is 10 times worse? I'm not saying put up with what's going on. Hell the fuck no. But all of it is coming from the top. All of it is coming from the top. It all comes from the governments. It all comes from you know, up the ladder, up the chain.
Know that we wouldn't do this if it was only one or two people. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't innocent people that this was happening to. totally innocent. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't our kids with squirt guns shot in the back. We wouldn't do this. These are the live human beings, but you understand America is a place where they don't value little babies' lives. They don't care.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, mate, and I know that you guys go out and audit and all the rest of it, okay? I'm trying to look at it from all sides. What goes on and the ones that get shot like that, and a lot of them for no good fucking reason, okay? For no good reason. They get abused, whatever, arrested for no apparent reason, shot for no apparent reason. But you've also got to look at who jumps up and down when one person, not a cop, but when one person shoots another person. You know, I mean, the killing side of things has been going on year after year after year after year for generations. Okay, for generations. Do you know what I mean? I mean, who jumps up and down for those people? You know, who jumps up and down for the innocent people that get killed in war? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that anybody's life is insignificant. What I'm saying is you can't just pick and choose. Well, you can, all right, but I'm saying that you can't just pick and choose. It's no different to people when they talk about abortion. Every child has a right to life, and I bring this up quite often, okay? But does anybody ask those children in a war zone, do they have a right to life? And this is where we as human beings, I reckon, are extremely fucking wrong, because we can't just pick something when it suits. Do you know what I mean? So today on this side, we're going to claim that we care about kids and that they need to be born and that child has the right to life. But then tomorrow, when we're in a different mood, okay, we can go knock off innocent kids somewhere else and call it collateral damage. See, this is what human beings are like.
That makes no sense. That's just it. We go on these hashtag kids matter or save the kids, and then we're BLM, and then we're Antifa, and then we're... How did this all happen all at once? Okay? How did all of these groups, I'm talking gay, anti-gay, trans, how did every one of these pile on the bandwagon at this exact moment in time? Why is everybody coming out finally? Like, it's just weird because the voice is magnified times 100 right now. And yet you still get people that say, well, it's just not that big of a deal. You're not seeing what I'm seeing, because this is affecting everybody, every business, everywhere, all the time. People are chucking stuff off the shelves. Even if you have good stock on your shelves, but someone comes by and knocks it all off and breaks it all, or goes into the restaurant to eat and then just on purpose drops their plate on the floor, it is so much carnage, it's so much money, that every business is going to go under or fail no matter what, because one person can do so much damage. They don't stand a chance. So why is the government not taking a step back, evaluating the situation, and going, we should fight this from a stance of love, not just beat the shit out of them and they'll conform? Because even if you get them to conform today, tomorrow they're going to be back in a store, take their rage out and break something or destroy a car or a house or
The
a
thing is,
business.
FTP, when you look at, you've got to go back to, and I know it's hard to do, all right, because I get caught up in the same bullshit sometimes. You've got to go back and look at the fact that you're dealing with human beings, okay? I used to hear about people going on shooting sprees and this, that, and the other, the ones that aren't false flags, by the way. But I used to hear that, and I used to think, what would actually drive a person to do that? Like, really? To literally just get up one fucking morning and decide to pick up a weapon and go out there and cause havoc. In 2020, I fully understand. I fully fucking understand why and how a person could get to that point. Because when you can see what's going on, when you can see that you're not winning no matter how honest you try to be, no matter how hard working you try to be, no matter what, mate, I understand it now, how people can do that. I understand fully how people can do that because we're not unbreakable. We're not unbreakable. Each human being is different, obviously, but fuck, you can only take so much.
What I always said was the scariest thing to me so far is the Trump supporters themselves and the people with guns. Because to me, the biggest threat to your safety is the guy that's going to come steal your stuff, or is the guy that's going to come into your house because they don't have anything or they don't have their supplies. We haven't hit mass hysteria yet. But you know just the same as I do, what do you, even when you look at how many you have in the clip, you look at the weapons that are out there or how many that their capacity can hold in their high capacity magazines. And America is one of the biggest gun whatever. You don't stand a chance. When the shooting starts, we civilians or civilians that don't decide to arm up or have armed up late or can't get a hold of a gun because they literally cost an arm and a leg, it's like, I mean, this is crazy because it's like you need to call on other countries to say, all right, we need AKs over here. We don't need them over there no more. We need to move them all to America within our own country because our own country is falling the fuck apart. And it's the Trumpers when the Trump says something stupid on the news and says, I want you guys all to help me out with BLM. Well, now it's just a bloodbath in the street, and guess who loses? Possibly the ones peacefully protesting, and even the ones that get a little violent, well, they just get shot in the street and dropped.
Mate, did you watch, like, obviously you watched some of the protests and whatever. What I got from that, okay, watching all of that, was watching the police literally firing on their own people, okay, because they're humans, okay? They're humans, they're voicing their opinion. Everybody's allowed an opinion, right? Yeah, the asshole thing and all the rest of it, but everybody's allowed an opinion. And then I saw a video where it wasn't just police, but it was military that was brought in. And it clearly they had different outfits on. It had written on there, military police. And I think to myself, you know, people always used to say before, oh, you know, if shit hit the fan or whatever, the military would be on our side. All of these protests that are going down, if people watch carefully what's going on, I think a lot of people are going to be in for a rude fucking awakening when it comes to whose side the military will stand on.
Right. I think we're in for a rude awakening also because we've seen what happened up at No Dapple or up in North Dakota, the pipeline, Dakota Access. There was no reason to fire on a peaceful protest assembly and congregation of the 7 generations coming together. for a common goal, there was no reason to do that, to water cannon them on Thanksgiving Day. So
I
your
watched all of that episode.
their own military went against their own people. Now, there was busloads showing up there of veterans on the Native Americans' behalf. But that was, oh, you win, you win, you win. We won't put the pipeline in. And then 2 months later, they put the pipeline in anyways. More lies, more going through their land that was not theirs. So at what point do you say the government will do whatever it is to infiltrate your group, make you an unlawful assembly, plant shit on you, and turn it into your fault again and make you the victim and guilty? Or you will look like the agitator, and you'll be stuck on federal charges and stuck in federal prison for 5 to 25 years.
Me personally, I think the government has been doing this to the people for a very, very long time. For a very fucking long time. Some cluey bastard somewhere realized that he could manipulate the masses simply by dividing and putting hate in the mix. And that's what they've been doing. Because to me, when I look at, for example, one of the Trump rallies or whatever, what I'm seeing is human beings that are fighting over a red hat. They're fighting over a man that doesn't care whether they've got food to put on the table for their kids. They're fighting over a man who doesn't know them, who's never going to, they're never going to get to meet him unless it's through a TV screen. This is what they're fighting over. Is he going to do anything more than the last one did? Hell the fuck no. Because they have a plan. They're following their plan. Okay? They're following their plan. They don't care about the people, because if any one of them cared about the people, you would seriously, there is not that many blind fucking people. Majority of a country, any given country, would stand up and go, well, hell no, we're keeping this dude because he's doing some good shit. Have you ever heard of a country that has kept the same fucking president, prime minister for yonks? They want them changed because they're all the same. None of them care about the people. None of them do.
They care about their money. They care about their jobs. They care about their businesses. They think that Trump's going to make them so much money and they're going to be rich, and he's putting all the people in that are bad, and he's putting them away. He's putting them in jail. And what he doesn't understand is those people with the guns are committing felonies daily by toting them around out in the open, carrying them across state lines, fully loaded in their vehicles, have no idea what the laws are. But yeah, he's filled with hate. Now, I don't want to focus on that. I just want to say that he's spreading the mass panic, the mass chaos. So if someone incites a riot, we get a felony. If he incites a riot, he gets praised? What the fuck is going on?
This is where it goes back to, none of them are ever held accountable. No. They're in their group. Like George Carlin said, they have a club and you're not in it. You know?
George Carlin.
Yeah, you're not a part of their club and you never fucking will be. It's that simple. I like Putin. I don't. If I had to pick,
you know what? Throw him the fuck out
of all the presidents, prime ministers, whatever. Oh, and I like Duterte. Oh, damn! When he turned around and told Obama to go fuck himself, I love that man.
Who?
I love that man. Duterte. He was the president of Philippines.
Philippines. Okay. Yep.
Mate, I'm going to get off and let you go. You're yawning. I've totally forgot time difference. It's got to be late where you are.
It is. I got to get up and get my kid off on the bus, and I wasn't supposed to do the 3-hour tour. I told everybody I wasn't going to do it. The reason I called you up here, was your expertise on, and let me tell you, I think I hit the nail on the head with who is the most logical, sensible, nice, kind, caring, loving, and can give you the facts the way you need them. You need to be told them. The solution, I mean, that'll have to be for tomorrow's discussion. We're entering the seventh circle of hell. You're entering the twilight zone. I know that nobody's making headway or gain like they think they are, sitting in the streets, throwing rocks. I get it. We're not even to no food yet, and we're already panicking. Mass hysteria. And Jesus Christ, look what happened when the toilet paper ran out. These people don't get it. What are you going to do?
FDP, no, seriously, do you know how fucking hilarious that was to me? That was happening in my country, dude. When I saw that, I was laughing. I rang up my sister. I said, you got to get on there. You got to fucking find the video. The bitches are fighting over fucking crap paper. And I'm going to her, what the hell does toilet roll have to do with COVID-19? Does it get up your ass? Like, what the? Oh, mate, I couldn't stop fucking laughing. But that's humanity. That's humanity. We gotta, you know, you instill that fear into people and that hate. And dude, they're gonna kill you just because of Dunny Roll. They will. I'm telling you. You worried about people coming with guns? No. Be careful of the ones that come looking for toilet paper, mate.
Fuck.
You're going to have to shoot them fuckers. Listen.
It's not funny. I know
you're laughing. I'm going to leave. Go to bed. Go do whatever it is that you got to do, mate.
Dude, what are you talking about? What I got to do? It's Pinky in the Brain time. So I think you're Pinky and I'm the brain. And so what we're doing here is
Hey, David.
Take over the world.
Yeah, no, everybody, I'm telling you now, start hoarding that toilet roll little by little. It's the most important thing. If you ever got to do anything in your life, hoard that fucking Dunny roll. I'm telling you, 2020 is going to be known in history as the year of the Dunny roll.
Dude, have you seen what I have in my basement, bro? Big jumbo rolls. I never used them.
I'm telling you, in years to come, you know, when the children look back in 100 years and they go, what was 2020 known for? Oh, that was them bitches fighting over Dunny roll. Like, what the fuck was that about?
No. Save the children. Save the children. Hashtag get them toilet paper now. They have no toilet paper.
Exactly.
We save them.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Society's lost the plot, people. Come on. Everybody, like, reevaluate yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. I'm telling you, I do it on a regular basis. Would I fight over toilet paper? Hell the fuck no. I would sit there. Would I laugh at two people fighting over? Oh my God, I swear if I was in the middle of a supermarket and that literally happened in front of me, I think I would literally piss my pants right there in the fucking aisle from laughter.
The funniest
I just find that, yeah, it's just beyond ridiculous.
Shit I ever seen. I was in Sam's Club, right? And so the next thing you know, these people came into the aisle. We all came in there all at once, and everybody started looking at each other. There's no toilet paper. There's no toilet paper. What are we gonna do? You just totally fucking tell.
Yeah, but FDP, see, people don't think. Do you know how much toilet paper every person has in their household? Look in your wardrobe. Look in their cupboards. You have got that much fucking toilet paper that you can use there. Clothes that you've never fucking worn, clothes that you've worn once, clothes that you still fucking wear. Rip the bastards up, the sheets on your bed. Rip it up and wipe your fucking ass. And if worse comes to worse, go into your backyard, grab that fucking tree, rip some leaves off, and do the deed.
You
know, there's no
you
point to pull
domesticated
out
us.
a
Now
roll.
you need to give us our toilet paper. Let's go tear down more trees, not be able to breathe. Meanwhile, you need your toilet paper.
Dude, I'm telling you, back in the day, all right? And I know this from my dad's uncle, okay? My dad's uncle. He was telling us how if they were out in the paddock or whatever and they were ploughing the fields, as you guys would say, and whatever, there's no fucking toilet out there. They didn't take, back then they ripped up newspapers or whatever paper they could and hung it on string as toilet roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they were out in the paddocks or the fields, as you guys call them, and you know, they're harvesting, whatever they're doing, they will go take a dump. They go and find some leaves off a tree and wipe their fucking ass. You know, they weren't concerned about fucking toilet roll. Is it soft?
No, listen to this. Listen to
Why?
this.
Is it
I'll
soft?
save you. I'll save you. I'll get you the 10 ply, right? The 10
Oh,
ply
hey,
teepee.
I've got to tell
I'll
you something,
save you. But meanwhile, we have no fucking food. What are we gonna do for food?
Nobody was thinking about food. They were thinking about their ass. You know, my daughter and I were in the shop one day, and we're going down the aisle doing the shopping. Right, we get to the dunny roll, so I pick up a packet of dunny roll and I chuck it in the trolley. And she goes, "Mum, don't you want to get the ones with the pictures on it?" I looked at her and I said, "The last time I checked, my fucking asshole ain't got fucking eyes. It ain't gonna know whether it's got fucking pictures on the. I mean, why should I pay more for pictures on my fucking dunny roll, dude? Come on."
See, this is what's wrong when you domesticate people. You make them feel like they need a special kind of toilet paper, and they're like, "Oh my god, the Scots is
That's
gone.
not
The Scots
domesticated.
is gone." You know where Scots came from, right? I was like, "No, I don't know where Scots came from. Where do I get more Scots from? Australia."
That's no different to tissues. For
I
fuck's
didn't
sake.
know that.
Go into the toilet and fucking pull a fucking roll of toilet paper, pull off a little bit and blow your fucking nose. Why do you need to spend more money to go buy the same fucking shit, but now it's in a box? It ain't wrapped up in plastic. Now it's in a box. Now it's different, right? Or let's take it one step further. Let's roll it up into a big long roll, put it in the kitchen, and call it, what do they fucking call it? Paper towels. That's it. Paper towels. It's the same fucking shit.
Well, the paper towels you can use just the same too. That's what I told her. I said, "You
Exactly.
don't no. Everybody started looking at the toilet paper rolls, and they kept like." And what I told my wife right away is I said, "What you don't understand is they keep looking at the empty section in the toilet paper, and they're just empty feeling inside. They're like, oh my god, there's no toilet paper." I said, if they would have just looked over here, there's $25 cartons, and the rolls are quadruple the size for businesses. We are in Sam's Club, but nobody has figured out that there's jumbo rolls over here. I said, do you, I mean, holy fuck. I was like, grab 2 cases of these. I still have them. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? They can't not look away. And then once I knew, I had to tell other people. I'm like, well, if you're looking for the toilet paper, you know, you could just go with this. Oh, thank you, you know. And
It's like you've got to tell them. Exactly. And not only that, you're thinking it's bad by somebody not having toilet roll and the things that they're doing over toilet roll. Can you imagine if all of a sudden nobody's mobile phone worked? I'm talking, forget about being invaded by another country. Oh, fuck no. People would kill each other because they wouldn't know what to do without their mobile phone. I'm talking devastation. If you think toilet paper's funny, hey, I'm waiting for when mobile phones stop working, because I tell you what, I'm going to be pumping those videos out on YouTube like there's no tomorrow.
Well, it's like they don't think. Well, back to the toilet paper thing. It's like they don't realize their shit still stinks, or they think that their shit doesn't stink. But the honest to God truth is, it still stinks. That's why they need the toilet paper. Is your shit really stinks?
Well, FTP, let me enlighten you. According to Australian scientists, they discovered that humans actually have not a second brain, but their first brain is up their ass. You may laugh at this, okay? Many people do. I pissed myself laughing while I was reading the fucking article. Apparently, your first brain is up your ass, right? No wonder everybody ran for the fucking toilet paper, dude. I get it now. I get it now. Seriously. I do. You know? That's like when people say, oh, you had a brain fart. Because your brains are up your ass. Humans just somehow instinctively know that their first brain is up their butthole. When they say you've got shit for brains, see, that's another expression.
Oh my gosh.
When they say stop head fucking me, like they know where their brains are, okay? You're sitting on your brains, dude. Like, where do these sayings come from? Humans instinctively know that their brains are up their fucking ass. Yeah, the one that you've got between your ears, that's the second one. That's just the backup. You know what I mean? That's why shit's getting fucked up, because everybody's thinking with the wrong fucking one, right?
Shit is fucked up and stuff.
Listen, dude, I'm gonna jump off. It was great up here. It was great talking to you.
I'm like crying. This is fucked up. Don't ever do this to me again, Perth Observer.
Laughter is good medicine, mate.
I think your subscriber base is gonna go up after this. I'm just saying.
Laughter is good medicine. Never forget your sense of humor. We all have one. We all have one. We just get too deeply involved in shit and whatever. We forget our sense of humor. Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna love yous all, leave yous and whatever, and I will catch you on the next one, buddy. Thanks for having me up, mate.
Love you. Peace. Love. The end. There's nothing more than laughter. Nothing better. And love. Love. Perth, Australia.